We're still doing the auto push. Welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. Let me get my wits about me. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Don't want to waste too much time, but we might be here for a little while, and I'm okay with that. So as long as you're okay with that. As you can see in the title, I said, let me explain it's all connected, because it is all connected, right? What's going on, Lions Crest Outdoors? My man, Farmer Q, MIG is in the building. We're going to talk about how you might already be late this season for the fall gardening, right? Fall gardening and fall lawn care. Happy 4th. Hey, Gigi, how you doing? Hey, Miss Craft, how you doing? Good to see everyone. So those are the topics I want to discuss with you. And everything that I say here, I want to preference this, and I want to start all my lives like this, because I see a pattern happening within the community, and it's no fault of anyone. It's just the society that we're in today as human beings. As we continue to evolve, we tend to like the quickest and the easiest answer. And unfortunately in life, everything can be simple, but it might not be easy. Let me repeat myself. Lawn and gardening can and should be simple, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's easy. And what I mean by that, let me preference with, nothing worth having doesn't come with a little bit of work. You must continuously educate yourself. So everything that I tell you here, I appreciate that I've earned your trust, but I still want you to verify everything that I say. Don't take what I say as gospel or gold. Remember, I've only been gardening for a year, one full season under my belt come this fall. I've only been doing lawn care for 2.5 years, 2 years on camera, half a year off camera. So I still make mistakes. Although I have been to my local extension office, I completed the Master Gardener's course with ease. That just means I'm good at taking tests, right? I don't have as much experience as some of the people in the building that are here tonight, but I am trying to help everyone as much as I can, along with the people that I associate myself with extremely closely. You'll see them, you've seen them, and you will continue to see them, because we're like-minded individuals that share the same goals, which is helping you as much as possible while becoming as independent as possible within our own household, our own turf, our own gardens, our own lawns. So our preference with that, and then we'll roll right into it. Oh, the chat blew up. Okay, let me go address some people. Lori Sanford, hey, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Eco, man, I just saw your video. Mine is coming out next. The MIG team, Men in the Garden, is what that hashtag stands for. We're starting this movement saying, why I love my garden. You'll have my video sometime next week. I like to get extra and fancy with mine, so you're gonna have to give me a minute. And I'm not at home right now. I'm at the brother's house, and Malik's not here. He's at work. Tracy Jones, hey, how you doing? From PA, that's what I'm talking about. Corey J, hey, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Finally caught the live. I'm glad you caught the live. Still learning after many years. That's right. We don't stop learning. Girls Lawn, my girl PJ. Now that's the We Working team. Hey, how y'all doing? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. What else we got? Did I miss something? I think I got, oh yeah, Sunday Backyard Farmer. What's going on? Hey, how you doing, Sunday Backyard Farmer? I need to come over there and check you out, man. Okay, so we got a few people in here in the building right now. Let me split this screen so I can see what's going on myself, because I can't see, because we might have a guest. We might have a guest sliding in there to assist me with everything we're doing this evening. So I need to make sure I stay attentive to all screens. So glad to see everyone. I'm happy to see you too, PJ. So lawn and gardening. And if y'all don't mind, it looks like we're pretty heavy with the gardening community right now. So we're going to start with addressing the gardening community. How y'all feel about that? And keep in mind, I'm talking about zone 6 6A to maybe 8A in this live, but of course, check your own zone. Sheila Anderson, I appreciate you. I'm glad they're worthwhile. I'm glad they're worthwhile. Stinky Puddle Ranch, hey, how you doing? Thank you for being here. So yeah, we're gonna start with the gardening, right? And I know you're like, Turf, we just got into the summer. Why are we talking about fall already? Well, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you why we're talking about fall already. Like now, while you're enjoying this warm weather and your garden's coming to life and it's booming, I hope it's booming like mine is. Like next time I show you my garden, it's gonna look like we jumped in the future. So Hood Farmer, hey, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Next time I show you I got corn, ears of corn just busting out. I'm about to harvest my second succession iteration of beets. Angel trumpets are thriving. Everything's doing really well. My pineapple sage got attacked by spider mites. I had to just quickly address that, so I wasn't able to make a video on it. And then one of my squash plants had a leaf spot on it, so I ripped her out. I took her out, but that's why we don't just drop one seed. We continuously drop seeds like TNOG says. That way we can eat. So, and then while my wife was pruning, she actually made a mistake and chopped one of the patty pan squashes in half. So I got like 2 1/8 of a plant, but they're still producing fruit. So much fruit that I brought it here with me to my brother's house so I could eat it. So making sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to speak up and let me know. Hey, if I'm talking too fast or if I'm moving too fast and you're not able to keep up, please let me know. Now, this is why I'm going to show you. I'm going to start with my personal grow calendar first, right? And this is why I want to show you the time is now to not only buy your seeds, but do things like Farmer Q is doing where he's allowing his soil to rest. Lori Sanford, I really appreciate you, and I'm going to keep it up as long as possible. Keep it up as long as possible. As long as I can keep this rolling, we're going to keep it rolling. But Farmer Q, he was talking about something in this last live that I thought was pretty interesting, that that it needs to be repeated, needs to be echoed throughout our community. He's letting a certain part of his bed rest because he just got done running corn. And if you know anything about corn, corn will take everything. It will take everything, all the nutrients out of your ground. It is a greedy, greedy little girl. She likes to eat, and she likes to eat well. And so he's going to let his soil rest. He's going to replenish his soil, and he's starting to prep for the fall garden. And I was like, that's the smartest thing you can do. You know, especially if you're already taking a whole bunch of L's, you've already taken a whole bunch of losses this season rolling into the summer. Guess what? Now is the time to reset, grain your ground, understand what your battlefield looks like. And excuse me for my military lingo, but this is my life. It's been my life for 15 years, and I got at least 5 more to do. But if you have any family members or if you've been affiliated with anybody in the military, you should be able to keep up. And if I use any type of terminology or any type of acronyms that you're unfamiliar with, let me know and I'll educate you. So, like I said, we're not, what's that? Yes, indeed. Greedy. Yes, and greedy. Hello, Turf and family. Couldn't find collar seeds today. Shirley, I should be listing some collar seeds here soon in my store on the Flipside Marketplace. I dropped about 8 or 10 different things in there. I guarantee you it's the best price that you're going to find out there. Oh, well, I say that with 95% confidence that my prices, all of the prices on the Flipside market are probably going to be the best that you'll find out there. Farmer Q, he's loading up his store. Miss Craft, she has store. We primed the pump with the actual stores to get you guys interested, to show you what's possible on there. But go check out the Flipside Marketplace. One of my mods, you can drop that link in the comments below for the people who are unfamiliar. But we worked really hard on that, and it's for you. It's for you. Oh, boom. There we go. I got an addition. My man Cam, he's going to go ahead and join us. We're going to bring him in, and we'll keep this thing going because y'all know Cam, he has a garden as well. So we'll bring him in, but we're still going to stay on the garden topic. And then we'll bring him in. Once he gets situated, he'll turn his camera on and it should be a good time. Let me make sure I got my, yep, I got the gallery mode on there. So let's jump into it, right? Let me show you why you need to look into this. And I'm going to show you my personal calendar. And then I'm also going to show you the almanac, right? And I'm going to put things in perspective to you as to why the time is now for you to get your garden situated. But before I go any further, welcome, Cam. Thank you for being here, bro. Thank you for jumping in here and running this with me. I know you're busy, but you had the time to jump in and hang out with the community with us. You know what I mean? How you doing today, bro? I know you're working.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
we can't hear you.
Hey, man, we always
Mic's
work.
off or something. We can't hear you, bro. Yeah, get your mic on. It looked like you might need a little bit more light. Them people, when they want to see pretty boy Cam's face. But I still can't hear you. I don't know. Hold on, wait. I might be the problem. Let me see. Maybe I can't hear you and everyone else can. Let me see. Can y'all hear Cam? Oh, yeah. I think I'm the problem. Let me turn on this.
Got
How
it
about
now?
now? Cam, talk. Hold up. Wait, let me see. Yeah, I should be able to hear you now. Let me see. Hold on. Oh no, you're muted. Yes, you're actually muted. It's telling me you're muted. So unmute yourself. Get yourself together. So we're gonna keep on moving. We're gonna keep on. Cam will be back, y'all. Cam will be back. Oh, y'all heard him? So I didn't hear him. So he must have muted while I was struggling because my my computer was muted. That's why I didn't hear him. So let me show you my personal calendar, right? Let's walk through this. And Cam, he'll be back. He'll be back. We ain't gonna worry about that. Cam will be back. All right, so this is my personal calendar for my zone that I got from my local extension office. And let's punch in a bit. Let me see. Let me jump over to the chat. Can y'all see that? How well can you see it? Do I need to zoom in any more than I already have? Let me know. And then you know what? Let me stop this share and let me share the entire screen. That way I won't lose you when I jump back and forth. So can you see my screen? Can you see that? That should be a good size where you can see it. Let me know that y'all are good. Matter of fact, I'm about to pull it up on my phone. That way I can see what the chat says without jumping around too much. Give me, as my man Led always says, give me 2 ticks. If you didn't know, that's where I took that from. Led, he always says, give me 2 ticks, give me 2 ticks. I just want to make sure I'm monitoring the chat appropriately. Let's turn that back on, because right now, internet is acting like it's struggling. Boom. You switch up, hop in my own. Struggling. Okay. Turn that off. Okay. All right. You like that layout. All right. Cool. Cool. All right. So it looks like you guys are in here and you can see. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to come over to June, right? We're going to come over to June and July. This is where we're at. And when I look at this, let me back out just a tad. That way, okay, here we go. That way I can see the whole thing on one screen. So what we're looking at right now is, as you can see, for beans, lima beans, all that stuff, you can drop them all the way up until July. But I want to focus on my cool season crops. All the cool season crops, plant seeds for cold hardy crops directly in the ground when it's light blue, and then plant cold hardy seedlings outside when it's dark blue, right? And then it says start seeds inside for growing seedlings. That's the yellow. So that's the color scheme that we're looking at. We're looking at the yellow, the light blue, and then the dark blue. That's what we're focused on. All right. So far, I've only been able to grow scallions successfully. Everything else I touch dies, but I'm not giving up, though. That's all that matters, Corey. That's all that matters. Don't give up, right? So let's check this out. So we're looking for yellow, light blue, dark blue. So broccoli, right? Broccoli, we should have started our seeds indoor for my zone. And if you're within my zone, and my zone again is 7A, right? Excuse me. So 7A, I'd say that this is good for 7A, 7B, 6B, maybe even 8A. You can stretch this that far, but you can also reach out to your local extension office and get a calendar specific to your area. There's also another option, which we'll hop into after this. But for broccoli, for our brassicas, right? I'm supposed to be starting my seedlings in June from my area, you know? And even when you're looking at these calendars, you probably want to buff two weeks to the left on most of these cases, because if you were in circumstances like me where I started my peppers a month early and then I lost them all, right? And I had to start them all over again. But if I didn't start a month early and that would have happened to me a month later, I may not be having any peppers this season. So technically, for broccoli in my zone, we're already in July. You're almost too late to start your seedlings. You look like you're looking at needing to purchase. You're looking at needing to purchase starts because you're about to miss your window for starting seedlings right here in the middle of July. Then we come down to Brussels sprouts. It's the same thing. Now, broccoli is something that you really want to get a jump on in order, like if you do everything right in your soil and you have the adequate phosphorus, you have the adequate potassium, you have the adequate amounts of nitrogen, but you didn't give your plant enough time to form that head, guess what? You're short. And now you think you did something wrong, right? Because you didn't get your head, but in all actuality, you didn't give it the proper amount of days to develop. Broccoli right here, it says 55 to 65 for most varieties of broccoli. Brussels sprouts, 80 to 100. Cabbage, 70 to 100. So you come over here to June, you could have had your seedlings started inside or in a very partially, very shaded area in your garden, so you can be ready to transplant them right here. That's the transplants for the dark blue, hardened off seedlings into your garden. And of course, we can't forget, just because it's July and it told me to put it outside, that doesn't mean that you want to put it in the blazing sun. That means you probably want to put it in a portion of your garden where it gets the first 4 to 6 hours of that morning sun, and then it's shaded for the rest of the day, because you're still dealing with a cool season crop. And this is where gardening in containers is awesome, because you can always move the plant when you don't get it right. Whereas here, when you're growing in the ground, you need to be a little bit more strategic as to the placement in your garden to make sure that you have enough shade. No different from when I explained to you in my previous garden video, creating microclimates within your own area. There you go, Cam. Cam back on the screen. Can you talk real quick just so I can make sure I can hear you, Cam?
You got me on audio?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's on my end. Let me see what's going on.
I was gonna say, can y'all hear me in the chat?
Hold on, let me stop sharing for a moment, people. We're gonna hop right back into it. Hey, AA, how you doing? Cam, killer Cam. All right, Bluetooth.
Oh yeah,
everybody turn that off.
Everybody in the chat said they got me.
Let me go to my sound is on. Okay. Why can't I hear you? Oh, I figured it. I found it. All right, say something now.
You got me now?
I got you. There we go. It was Zoom, man. Zoom was
man. Zoom wasn't trying to let us be great.
No, Zoom was not trying to let us be great. So Cam, this is where we're at. I'm just showing the people, I'm just showing the people this grow calendar for our zone and explaining to them how the time is now to start preparing for that fall garden. And rather than you just taking my word for it, I want to show the people that, hey, the time is now to start your fall garden right here on our calendar for our zone. It's go time, baby.
Yeah, I'm a little late. By the way.
Hey, it happens. It happens to the best of us. But I just wanted to show the community that, hey, I mean, look, cabbage. Yeah. It's go time for cabbage.
Yep.
Chinese cabbage. We're in July. It's go time for cabbage. Chinese cabbage. What else we have? Carrots. You could have already had your carrots in the ground for your fall harvest, and you have a month and a half to get that going. Cauliflower, same with that. Swiss chard. You got a window. You're in your window. Collards. You can start your next iteration of collards.
Yeah, one of the things that you did say that I like is I think I'm starting to lean towards that container crop growing. Like, it's just, I can move stuff around. I can change them out, like the amount of sunlight that they need to get. I mean, it's good. It's good. I'm I'm liking that.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Although I've been itching to be able to drop my food in the ground, and the particular food that I want to drop in the ground are big plants that demand a lot of food, just
Right.
because when you're growing in containers, stuff like corn, okra, they're heavy feeders. And I would rather feed my soil, make sure my soil profile is solid, and then just like fire and forget on those, making sure
Yeah.
they get enough water. I still feed them, but I know that my soil is amended properly to where I don't have to continuously be out there every other week like I had to been on my corn. And now I'm in the phase, right now I'm in the phase with my corn, it's putting on cobs. So I'm out there every week feeding the corn cobs. And I'm going to show you what that's done. Like the plants are super healthy, super healthy, you know? So, hey, Andel, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, that's a good point. I do agree with that. A lot of the heavy feeders, it is good because I've been trying to feed mine a lot more, and I can see the difference, especially like along the tomatoes that I've got in containers, which are heavy feeders and things like that. And I think where we've got set up, and you were also talking about microclimates, I mean, that allows you to be able to navigate those, even the things that you're starting in the fall that can be outside, but not in the blazing sun. Like you can put them in the shaded area of your yard or wherever the most shade is, and let it get that morning sun and then put it in the shade.
Exactly. Yep. You can easily move that around. Just continuing to go down the line. Kale, as you can see, we're in July now. Looks like after the first, second week in July, it's time to get your kale going. And there's varieties of kale that are super tolerant to the warmth of the summer. Kohlrabi, y'all know Kohlrabi is my jam. I've been rocking with Kohlrabi since Aunt Linda first showed it to me over there on the New Orleans Gardener channel. And as I have 4 Kohlrabi outside that's still ready to be harvested. And as I pull up the remainder of my Kohlrabi, if I was staying and not going to Germany, guess what? I'm in my window to drop them straight outside. This is the light blue. So light blue means I can plant cool season directly into the ground outside. July is already time to start growing more Kohlrabi. So almost year round, I can have Kohlrabi harvest just rolling in with no problem.
Yeah, I think I think I'm gonna jump on the Kohlrabi since
Hey,
you've been talking so much about it, bro.
that Kohlrabi is fire. And if you want some seeds, you can go check out my store at the Flipside Marketplace. I got you for the love.
Bet.
Yeah, PJ just picked up some Kohlrabi seeds. I had it all packaged up, had her seeds ready to go, and then I left the house, came to my brother's house, and left her whole daggone package sitting on the couch. So I'm gonna drop that in the mail when I get back home, PJ. My bad. But lettuce, if you're growing lettuce that forms a head, guess what? You were supposed to be dropping those seeds right now, prepping them, getting them things sown in. And the list goes on and on. And if you're in 7A or near 7A, 7B, and you want this calendar, because you can't get it from your local extension office, just shoot me an email. I'll drop it right here in the chat. And then my mods can repost it if they would be so kind. Turftherapy.net. Yep, that's it. Boom. So feel free to email me, EOD357. That's me. I just dropped it. I think it should show up. I just realized I'm not on that's my personal email. Y'all see my EOD badge in there. Because yes, I am EOD, active duty military. So moving right along, this is the time, right? And then it even goes deeper than that, right? If you have tomatoes, you could have been redropping tomato seeds all the way up into the beginning of the July for a late fall harvest right before the fall comes in. So this goes deeper than the cool season. We can take it a step further with succession planting, making sure that if you've lost some tomato plants along the way, or even better, here's a really cool cheat code that I'm pretty sure I saw AA Home Gardening. Yeah, AA Home Gardening. She's out in the UK. And she just recently did this. I'm pretty sure she did, but she takes her suckers off of her mature tomato plants and then she roots those. And now you've That's your cheat code. So now like you took your sucker that was going to be draining energy from the tomato plant, and then you turned into its own plant, and it jumpstarts you by like 2 weeks when it comes to keeping those tomatoes coming in. Now,
And I actually did that. I actually did that with like 4 or 5 suckers, just because like I didn't know. I had heard that it would work, and I didn't know that if it would. So I actually took a couple decent sized suckers and dropped them in some sand. Like they're probably a foot tall, foot or two tall
see,
right now. Like so, I was like, wow, like that. Yeah, that's legit. From a beginner gardener, that's legit.
right, right. And you can just go down the line here, guys. What they got down here? This is turnips. Time to get your turnip game up too, as well. So that's a taste, right? And then you're like, well, you're like turf. I'm not in your grow zone. That stuff doesn't apply to me. I don't have something like that. My extension office is garbage. That's what my man Broke told me the other day. Well, guess what? You can come over here to almanac.com. I showed y'all this in the early spring, late winter. And one thing that we focused on was, we focused on, and I like how they flipped this. When we were talking about the spring dates were at the top. But now when you go back to the Farmer's Almanac or almanac.com, guess what's up top now? Planting dates for the fall, right? So all you got to do is come over here and you put in your zip code and you do the same thing. So if you wanted the second iteration of bell peppers and you wanted to start them from seed, you needed to be planting those in May. Now that's a warm season crop, but you need to be planting them in May and then bringing them outdoors in July, right now. July 2nd. Isn't today July 2nd or is July 3rd? Mike, man, appreciate you, man. Thank you. Yeah, everybody's saying they replant suckers too. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that, bro. And I can go down the line. I can walk the dog with this. Broccoli, July 9th, start seeds indoor for broccoli. June 29th for cabbage, start your seeds indoors and then bring them outside, hardened off outside, being ready for your transplants August 6th, July 27th. So when you look at those planting seedlings outdoors, people, that means your plant is already hardened off.
Right.
So back up 2 weeks from that and then harden them off. And to be honest, I don't do the 30 minutes. I don't do the 30 minutes outside in full sun, bring them in and bring them outside anymore. I don't do that. I go to the shadiest part of my garden and I just put them jokers right there. And I put them there for about 3 or 4 days in the shade. And it's almost like a reverse psychology thing that I'm doing with the plant. I pretty much deprive it of direct light to the point when I introduce it to the light, it's like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Let me get this light. You know, that's what I thought in my head, and it's worked flawlessly. That way I don't have to worry about the 30 minutes in, 30 minutes out. I don't do that. I just put it in the most shaded area of my garden, and I continue to move it closer and closer towards the direct sunlight. Eco, man, appreciate that. What is harden off? So I just explained that, Corey J. Hardening off is when you start seeds indoors or outside of direct light, when you're using artificial light or you're using the light that's coming in through the east facing side of your home or something like that. When you bring that out to the full UV spectrum of the sun, most plants will automatically just burn up because it's too intense. It's too bright. It's like being in a dark room for 10 minutes and then walking outside into full blazing light, or being outside, or better yet, you know, when you're in the middle of the night and you turn on the flashlight and then everything lights up and you can see just fine. And then when you kill the light, your eyes have to readjust the dilation. So think of the plant in its cells that absorb that light, the surface of the plant. Think of it like this. That plant, it's not fully dilated yet. It's closed, right? So when you just put it straight into that full spectrum of light, it's blinding to it. It's too much too fast. You have to give that plant time to dilate its eyes so it can receive that light and that energy without overloading, supercharging that plant. So that's what hardening off is, in a way that maybe is more relatable and you can understand. I hope that helps you. Question, can I start my seeds outside in the shade in a grow cell? Absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially with it being this warm, you do not need to you know who does it all the time? Linda at the New Orleans Gardener. She starts 80, if not 95% of her seeds outdoors. She just puts it in the shady parts of her garden and they will germinate. They will come out. It's sunlight. You got the heat, you got the moisture. They will germinate every single time. So you don't need lights and you don't need to start it indoors.
And that's what, and Turf, that's actually going to be my plan is
Okay.
that I'm actually starting, I'm going to start all of my seeds outside in that shaded portion of the raised bed that we
I
set
know what
up.
you're talking about. Yeah.
So that's where like I plan to designate that area for actually starting my seeds there. And then they're already going to be outside. It's just a matter of moving them like into the sun when they're ready and get them in there. And I think it'll be easier for a transplant.
Right. I agree. Let me zoom in a little bit more so y'all can see this. I just realized it's probably hard for y'all to see. And it looks like it's not even showing the most up-to-date screen. Is it? No, it's not. Um, Hold on. Let me fix this. Because it wasn't even showing y'all the screen I was looking at. It should be showing you now, or maybe I was paused. It was showing. That's on me. Showing you now, or maybe I was paused. It was showing. Okay, now we're good. Now we're good. Okay. So yeah, zoomed in a little bit. Hopefully that's easier for you guys to see that are on cell phones. I was rewatching a few lives and I was like, man, I could barely see that. I wish I would have said something. So carrots. And this is where, you know, all the calendars won't agree. As you can see on my last calendar, it told me I could start carrots already. This one's telling me I can't start them till August 31st, which is why you need multiple sources, right? Don't just don't. The climate is changing all the time. Watch your weather. This is not the gospel. Why? This is why you have to continuously educate yourself. I'm going to grow big, fat. Oh, okay. All right, backwoods. Well, you have fun with that, brother. I can't, you know, Canada, y'all can do what you want in Canada, not here in America, and I can't do with that. Huh?
VA?
Oh, VA, yeah, you do that. Look, I still belong to Uncle Sam at the moment, so I can't fool with y'all.
You and me both.
Right? Yeah. I can't fool with y'all. Good for you. More power to you, bro. Kohlrabi. Same with Kohlrabi. So it says Kohlrabi, you're not good until August 31st. But I go over to my specific grow zone and we saw Kohlrabi. We're good to start dropping seeds for Kohlrabi in July. Right? So they're not contradicting each other. They're just giving you different algorithms. And to be honest, I think maybe the almanac.com might be a little bit behind when it comes to climate change. So when I look at their temperatures, I usually back it up by 2 or 3 weeks anyway. Their dates, I usually back it up by 2 or 3 weeks because the climate has been changing. We all have experienced it already. Like even for this lettuce, it tells us September 10th. Nah, man, you can get your lettuce going right now, especially if you're doing it indoors. Bro, man, I appreciate you, bro. You said number one. Thank you. Thank you. And it goes so on and so forth, right? So the idea behind this, let me go ahead and back out of this. The idea behind this and why I wanted to come live to you guys is to show you the proof as to why you might already be late this season, you know? And it's not to disparage you or anything. It's just to educate you that, hey, you need to jump on this and adjust yourself. And on top of that, if you're looking for seeds, I have plenty loaded, and there are plenty seeds loaded in the Flipside marketplace right now. But there will be plenty more that are being loaded up, and that platform was created for you. And when I say you, I mean the community. And it's important that y'all leverage it. You know, without you guys leveraging it, it kind of defeats the purpose of what we tried to do. We didn't start it to be the ones that are only on there selling seeds. I'm not even on there to sell seeds to make a huge profit or to get rich or anything. It's to connect you guys on a platform that is affordable, if not completely free on on some circumstances, and that you can share all the seeds that you are growing in your garden. And if you have a knack for doing cuttings and whatnot, and you want to sell those, we're giving you a platform where you can do it the cheapest. We don't charge any listing fees. You can list as much of stuff as you want. You can unlist, relist. We're not charging you that. We're charging you the basic fees that other people are charging for you to make these transactions. And then we're taking a very minuscule amount for the time and effort that goes into maintaining that site. But it's for you guys, for you to take advantage of. So what we got down here, Shirley Weems. Where's Stella at? He says Shirley Weems, she here. Broke love his Stella. So for Cam, before we hop into a little bit of the lawn care stuff, because I know a lot of gardeners out there, they getting their lawn right. You know, they're out there getting their lawn right. So we're gonna dabble in that too, and stress to you the urgency of getting that stuff under control. But Cam, as a beginner gardener, thus far, you've gotten a few harvests under your belt. What do you a resounding message for those people that are thinking about getting started, that might be on the fence about getting started, some things that you've learned so far this season? You have the floor, brother. Just speak to the people, man.
Yeah. So I think one of the things for me is proper. Yeah. Is proper planning. Like you just plan out what you want to do. And the other thing is enjoy it. Like if it's your first time gardening or you're just getting started, the other thing is plant more than what you think you need. Like just do that. Because I can almost guarantee that you're gonna lose at least a couple, if not more than what you think you're gonna lose. So at that point, start more than what you think you're gonna need. I mean, and then you can scale back from there. But then it's the part of just continue to learn also. You're going to make mistakes along the way. You're going to see stuff that you like, what is this? Like, I don't know what this is, but continue to just learn, reach out to people when you need help, and enjoy it. I mean, just enjoy it. It's been good. I've enjoyed my beginner gardener experience. Those are the things that I've said that I've learned. Plan, make sure that you're continuing to learn, and start more than what you think you're going to need. Those are my takeaways.
Right. And I think those are wonderful takeaways. And I love what you said about plan more than what you think you need, because y'all remember me going over to Cam's house and telling him, bruh, you're not going to eat all those peppers. I still stand by that statement. There was no way in the world he was going to eat all those peppers. But you know what worked out for Cam? He ended up losing half of his peppers, if not more.
Yeah.
And luckily, he had planted so many that he was still able to enjoy. When the next time Cam show y'all his garden, you're going to be like, wow, this man has he has rows of plants, just booming and doing the daggone thing. So hydroponics, 12 months, a year, jump into it, growers. Yes. The only issue for some people with hydroponics, backwoods lawn care is you have to invest in quality lights. That doesn't mean that you need the most expensive lights, but you need lights that are going to give you a full spectrum and are going to allow you to go through all the stages of development for your plant. Now, if you do want to hop into hydroponics, I think the cracky method is the best way to go. And I recommend that you start on a very small scale. And a good example on a very small scale is Miss Craft. If you check out her store on the Flipside Marketplace, she has these mason jars, cracky systems that you can test out with like lettuce. It's perfect for lettuce. And I got some, I got a mini romaine lettuce that you've never heard of before, I promise you, but it's pretty dope. But it's perfect for hydroponics, and especially the cracky method that you could check out. So you can check out her store and give it a swing just to see if it's something that you really want to fully divest your interest in. but he's right. You can grow year round with that. Year round with that. Hey, family, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up for your host. Yeah, thank you, Stinky Puddle Ranch. Appreciate you. Yeah, smash that like button if you're liking what you're hearing. And if you don't, you can hit the dislike button too. It don't matter. YouTube,
We
love
take
a
those.
little
We take those
controversy.
too.
And we take those too. What I've learned is YouTube likes a lot of likes a lot of controversy. So it actually helps. Believe it or not, backwoods lawn care. It's a small investment on the larger scale when you can see the potential in it, right? But for the average person, it doesn't seem like a small investment on the front end of it. But I agree with you, backwoods, for sure. Oh, of course, Miss Crab. Ain't nothing but love, and you got a quality product out there. So I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna promote it. Matter of fact, your that jar just got delivered to my house yesterday, and of course I'm not there. I bought a grow tent to keep growing right through winter as well. That's right, A, because you're out there in the UK. Oh, we have another guest. We got another guest. This is my dude right here, man. I wish I wish I would have known this guy back when I was a young adult. This my man Farmer
What's up?
Q.
What's up?
Farmer Q is in the building.
What is good, Q?
All is good. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine,
Okay,
bro.
perfect,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, he is nasty when it comes to the drip system. I mean, he is just surgical when it comes to anything dealing with irrigation, and his knowledge goes much further. Q,
Hey,
Yes, sir.
how you hanging out there in Texas, man?
Oh,
Hey,
I'm.
Angela.
Hey, if I was sweat, I'll be hanging low because I'm dropping all day. But
like
I mean, I will say that though. I will say that
you come in the building dropping bars, man.
No, but I will say that it's been kind of cooler than usual this season. It's been hot in spurts, in serious spurts, but then it'll come like today we had a cloud cover roll in and it's a cold front. And it's like probably 80, 85 or 80, 82 or something like that outside. But then when the sun came out, it kicked right on up to 93, like it was not even playing no more.
Dang.
With 100% humidity at 93 degrees.
Oh, that's terrible.
that's tough.
That's
Because we had a rainstorm earlier this morning and yesterday night. So
I used to want to live in Texas, but the more and more y'all show me your temperature, I'm okay with my wife not wanting to be there. I don't want.
you know what's crazy, man? All these people, they'd be like, "Oh man, I want to have a sunny garden, man." If you come out to Texas and you want a garden, don't go full sun. Go like 3/4 sun. You'll have a perfect garden. You don't need all that sun.
So what's the biggest hit you've taken so far, Q, in the garden? I know you've talked about it on your own channel, but I like to share it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I want you to share it with the people right now.
Okay, the biggest hit I've had in my garden. To be honest with you, it's like it's a little bit in disguise. It's kind of in the background. And the biggest hit I've had in my garden has been the squash. The squash vine board. People have released videos about it, like left and right. I just don't really care about squash like that. I like them a whole lot, but I just know that the summer crop's gonna fall victim to them. So I'm just like, I'm getting my few squash. Literally, the plant's got like 2-3 squash each on them, and I'm like, that's what we're gonna live with. Because I planted like 8 of them, so I'm like, okay, I'd give me a nice little flush of harvest off of them, and then get my fall garden ready, get everything prepared. Because some of the like the watermelon and the cucumbers and everything doing good, all that starting to kick into full gear. But it was a weird start to the fall season this year. So the corn didn't do nearly as good as I wanted it to do, but I wasn't even hurt by that. The sheep nose pimento peppers, one of the plants that I got one of the seeds I got on the Flipside Marketplace. But the sheep nose pimento pepper, it's smoothie, but it's coming along and it's just not doing too great. It's doing okay though, mediocre production. And I'm just like, man, this season's kind of funky, but we riding with it for sure.
Right.
Hey man, sometimes that's all you can do is ride with it. Like sometimes you really ain't got no other choice. And when we jump into the lawn, that's definitely one of the things. Sometimes you just got to ride it out.
Right. Hey, 2%, how you doing? Yankee sister, what's up, Battle? How you doing? A little veteran in the building. Shout out to all the veterans this year or today, right now, that's in the chat. This Independence Day, our brothers and our sisters, we bled for it. We bled for it.
Hey, I got one thing for you, Q. You might have been a little bit proud of me. I rigged up a irrigation system for like while I went on vacation. Yeah, it was actually pretty dope.
It was nasty. You need to do a video. Look, Cam is surgical with the drip systems as well, man. I'm trying to tell you, like what he put together when he went to go meet Pablo Escobar and his people, hanging down there incognito. Now I'm joking. Thank you, man. You had to do that, man. I appreciate you.
Hey, man, it's all love. It's all love.
Yes, my name is Robert Palmer. It is Robert Palmer. Cam is nasty with it. He was controlling his irrigation while abroad in a whole other country. One day he will bless us with his skills as well. Y'all both have two completely different approaches to it. But watch, y'all about to nerd out on it.
Well, I was actually gonna go with Intrepid on this one because I'm like, if you're suggesting Cam does a video, I'm gonna definitely practice modesty in this particular regard. So what I'm gonna ask you, Cam, did you already have a sprinkler system in ground already?
I have one for my back. I have one in my backyard.
So okay, so now do you have one?
That I also put in.
Okay, so now you have one in the front yard as well?
Yes.
Oh snap! Okay, that's all I'm gonna ask you. I'm not gonna ask nothing else about it.
And I wired in a extra valve to be able to water just while I was gone, and wired it into my controller that I could then control while I was in Mexico.
Okay, well, if you're gonna mention the stuff, I'm gonna ask you about the products now. I was gonna try to save you the video clout, but I mean, hey, look, I'll ask you about it. Did you go with like a Ratio system or a Rainbird system?
I got a Ratio 3.
Okay, boy, so you doing it? Okay, I see.
I got the Ratio 3, and I run the Hunter valves with the Hunter heads.
Let me give y'all just a tiny bit of insight on that Ratio. So the Ratio is so bougie with it that they don't even sell them in the irrigation supply houses. You got to get them at Best Buy. They don't even want. They don't let us guys touch them. They're like, oh no, we don't want y'all irrigators with your licenses. We don't need y'all. We want to sell them to the consumer.
Yep. Hey, bro, when I say that joint is fire. That joint is fire.
Bro,
like,
I got in my phone right now on my app, because on an irrigator, I got literally 13 controllers I can turn on and off at any given point. Whatever zone I can manually adjust their zone, I can rename their zones, I can do everything from my phone. Right
from your phone. Ain't got to do nothing. It's got rain skip, rain delay, wind delay. Like, you can set how much ever like rain you get if you want to water. If you don't want to water, if you get more than a half an inch of rain during that week, you can set all of that stuff in. I mean, that system is amazing.
Man, I'm just happy for you. What's up, Love Notes? What's up, Love Notes? How you doing? I'm just over here happy for our brother Elevated Lawnscapes. He doing it big. He didn't graduate. He finally got a piece of the pie over there, boy.
I'm letting y'all nerd out together, and then we bringing in somebody else. My man broke the broke farmer that ain't broke. Look, I'm telling y'all, what was the name of that movie? The name of the movie when the dude, what was it? It was Samuel L. Jackson. He was playing the bum, and then he hit the corner and got into his. Wasn't that him, or who was it?
No, anyway, that was Samuel. I think that was Samuel.
Yeah. Broke is that dude. He ain't broke. Like
anybody that say they broke ain't broke.
Exactly.
Bro, he kind of do what's up. Now that you say it, I never saw that until you said it.
Broke ain't broke. He's lying to y'all. I'm trying to tell you, broke is not broke. Broke roll around the Benz. I seen it. FaceTiming me.
Hey, if it's a Benz, it's an 86. You can
bro, he said his name is Benz Farmer 86.
Hey, I heard you up there talking about all the stuff you can start in fall.
Right.
Now, I already told you my office sucks, so I ain't gonna even deal with that. So you say it's almanac.com, and it'll give you all the whole breakdown.
Yes, it will give you your breakdown, but as I just showed you, right, my local calendar shows me that I can go a month before the almanac shows me. So this is where coming to, you hear me preach this all the time in lawn care. Read the label, read the label, read the label.
Yeah.
When it comes to these different products. When it comes to these seeds, y'all need to read the back of these seeds. Because the good seeds will tell you, oh, plant these seeds when soil temperatures are that. And you're like, well, I don't know what the soil temperature is. Turf,
Okay,
I'm supposed to know what the soil temperature is. Now, there's two ways of doing that. I showed you one of the ways on the video with oh no, I clipped that part out. Dang. Okay. Well, look, you can use a thermometer and just put it in your soil, right?
Word.
The other way of doing it, shameless plug.
Okay.
I'm about to do it right now. Shameless plug. We're going to jump over. We're going. Don't judge me for my desktop, people. Look, we just okay. Boom. That's a screen. Can everyone see that I am going to, let me just type it in here, flip side, boom. There we go. Y'all see this? Does everybody see Google?
Oh yeah, I see you.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna show you this tool that we have baked in to the Flipside Marketplace. So we got resources, right? You come over to Garden Resources. And I'm going to use you as a prime example. So that's this your sun tracker right here. This will let you know what you need as far as your sun tracking. It works best on your phone because it glitches on the web. But Broke, we're going to go for use soil temperature map. We're going to jump over to Greencast. It's plugged in right here. Now, if you don't mind, Broke, what is your zip code?
31052.
52. All right, we're gonna drop that in there. We down in Georgia. And guess what this thing is gonna tell us?
I don't know if it can go that deep in the country, sir.
Oh, well, we about to put it to the test. Y'all see all that heat?
All right, that's a lot of buffer, boy.
It was
there
a lot of buffer. Okay, all right, cool. So now we have our soil temperatures up until this very day. Now, it shows a lot cleaner on the phone. This is the first time I've looked at it on the website. I usually just do it on my phone. But to this date, it gives you your average for, what's the blue line? The blue line is 2021. So to this date, 2021, your average soil temperatures is 79 degrees Fahrenheit. The 5-year average is usually 83.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Your 10-year average is 83.7. So what's that? That's climate change, right? We come up to this next line. That's the 5-year average. And then that's your 10-year average. So you can use this tool to understand what your soil temperatures could or should be based off of that. And then you can take it a step further and you can, let me figure out where it's at.
What was the name of that website again?
It's called the Flipside Marketplace. No, it's called Greencast. It's called Greencast Online. But if you just go to the Flipside Marketplace, underneath resources, we have so many free resources that one, you can find your soil temperature. Hey, if you don't know where your local extension office is, shoot, we can help you figure that out too. It's right there. But it's the greencastonline.com/soil temperature. And then you can slide in. Oh, we got another guest. Can we handle 5 people? I think we can handle 5. Can we handle 5 people, gentlemen?
We can hang.
Got it.
But Turf, if we get somebody else, I mean, what kind of beard they got? Because I mean, it's a strong beard game going on in here.
They ain't got nothing on. I mean, I ain't got no beard, but y'all know I can grow one. Don't play with me. Okay, here we go.
You like, don't play with it.
Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Let's bring another garden guru on the stage. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Let's bring another garden. Oh, you got to mute yourself now. Come on, get it. Don't play with it. Let's bring. You good? You in there? We in there, Eco?
Come from the light. Come back.
Blessings and greetings.
Blessings and greetings. Here he comes.
I mean, I am in the connection of all of y'all.
Oh, Deacon Eco in the building. Deacon Eco.
Hey, I'm gonna say I appreciate Backwoods. Hey,
look at Backwoods showing all the love. CR, hey, Aunt Ellen, look, did y'all see that quote that Ellen made?
Yo, I needed to know where you got that quilt from.
I got it from the museum. That's where the heck I got it from. That's where it belongs. It belongs in it. It's spread across my bed right now. I was supposed to do a video, but I'm not taking you out of my bedroom like that. So I'm gonna take it out the bedroom and I'm gonna do a video so y'all can see it up close and personal. This quilt is amazing. The longer I look at it, the more detail and stitch I can see that went into the hard work with this quilt. And that painting is amazing. And I just can't wait until I can really hang it up and put it somewhere when I get to Germany. I'm not going to bother trying to hang it up right now, but man. And then if you're wondering where you can get one of these quilts, she'll be opening up a store. She'll be a vendor on the Flipside Marketplace here in the near future as well. But it's amazing.
Where's she gonna be selling it?
The Flipside Marketplace.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I did see a question that popped into the chat that
I handle that while I run to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, so it was Q. So it was a question to you regarding the Rainbird controllers. You wanna address that? I got an opinion, but you might have used them.
Can you tell me who asked about the Rainbird? Because I answered a question about Miss Craft's Orbits controller.
Okay.
Is that the same one we're talking about?
No, I saw one about the Rain. Maybe it was the Orbit. Yeah, you got it.
Okay. So the Orbits controllers, the Beehive. Well, Orbit. I will say that before they came out with the Beehive, they were. Since they're good now, I'll say quite simply they were trash. You know what I'm saying? Like they were pretty bad. Before they came out with the Beehive, but the Beehive, the ratio was so good that like literally if you tried to take the basic version of everything that they had, you could make something that was a good product. So that's what Orbit did with the Beehive. And then they just sold it in Lowe's. I think they sell it at Lowe's. They may sell it at Home Depot too, but you can also order it offline. So it's like, instead of going to Best Buy, you can go to somewhere more consumer friendly in regards to lawn care, I guess you could say, because you wouldn't really expect to go to Best Buy to buy a controller. Unless you were really just going, unless you really knew what you were looking for, you know what I mean? So, right. But the Beehive it's definitely, it pulls its weight. And I mean, it has an app that's associated with that particular controller and everything. And the software and the interface on the app is actually pretty good too. Yeah. I'll say that.
So, if any of y'all follow me on IG, like y'all post a pitch.
One second, y'all.
On my story that I was in the lab doing some editing. So I'm working on a video that's going to cover like watering in a simple way to set up an irrigation system to where you don't have to worry about it watering all the time. So using a timer is like key. Like I don't think people understand like how much simpler that makes your life either in the garden or in the lawn. And it's not something that's very expensive. Like you just getting a timer, it relieves some of that stress.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That I concur.
I'm back. Did somebody say something while I left? I'm sorry. I know I left kind of abruptly.
Backwoods is in here showing us all the love. Backwoods, man. You ain't gotta do that, bro. You making me nervous. I'm over here sweating like that part. My goodness.
No.
Should I take my shirt off?
That's why. All right, that's why I went to my laptop so I can see the chats. I kept hearing y'all say backwoods. I was trying to figure out the reference of backwoods, but it's backwoods lawn care. So
yeah.
He just cutting his lawn he cutting his lawn in the backwoods, you know what I'm saying? He in the back 9 of the woods, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about something else.
Broke, we'll just say this. You're right. And we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. I had no idea until, look, if you want to hang out with a very funny, entertaining person, you got to go over to IG, subscribe to become a follower of Backwoods Lawn Care on IG. And when he goes live with him and his homeboys from Canada, it's entertaining to say the least. They put out good information. They talk about their lawns. They talk about life. They talk about whatever they experienced through their childhood leading up into their adulthood. But it's exactly what you think, Broke.
That's pretty cool.
Just know he's in Canada, okay? And we'll leave it there because I don't want to get knocked out here. I don't want to get knocked. Hood Farmer was on it too. Yeah, that's what he's talking. That's what he's talking.
Yeah, the Weekend Garden Show give you some love, Turk. She said the carrots she planted back in February came out beautiful. Thanks so much for the planting advice.
Hey, I saw you drop the video today. I need to come over there and see what you got going on. Yeah, see, there you go. That's what he do over there. Oh. It's entertaining though. But I need to come over there and check you out. Young, I was about to call you young lady, but that would be expensive. Strong black woman. There you go. I'm gonna come check you out and see what you're going.
Miss Crab got a question for you, Tur. She said, "What's the name of that site again?"
The Flip Side Marketplace. No, I'm joking. No, it's called greencastonline.com. I'll drop the link in the chat.
I agree with Tur.
Just in case you decide that you never want to go to that website, there's the Greencast Online tools. There we go.
That app is pretty good on your phone. Like it looks a little different.
It looks a lot better on the phone.
Like, so I agree with Turf, and I recommend using it from your phone.
Yeah, it's much easier to use on your phone. And then when you're on your phone, one thing that I didn't show you is you can set up alerts. So if you read the back of your seeds and you're waiting for seeds to come, you're waiting for your soil to come to a certain temperature, you can set up an alert on the website. You sign up, you fill out your email, and you say, okay, I want to know when it's best to drop corn. And let's say the back of the seed packet, I'm spitballing here, trust but verify. Everything I say, I led with that. Corn, let's say it says direct sow when the soil temperature is between 60 and 70 degrees and it's maintaining that for 5 days. Well, you can set up that same alert on that website that you can easily assess through the Flipside Marketplace. And then it will send you an email letting you know, hey, your soil temps are ready for 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And I think they even allow you to switch it to Celsius if you're if you're the rest of the world. Let's just put it that way, because I think America is the only one that drives through, they do their own thing. But anyway, it'll alert you, and then boom, you'll know it's time for me to go out and drop the seeds. And that's when you're working off of the weather and not calendar days on a calendar. You know what I mean? Like, you can become much more precise with it that way. Let me see if I missed it. Did I miss anything else, John?
I think that's it.
Nah, I think we've been keeping up with the chat. If you see me looking off into the sky, I'm actually trying to keep up with the chat.
All right, cool. Appreciate you. K Dixon. Hey, how you doing? That's the first time I've seen you in here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Yeah. What else we got? Broke. How that corn doing over there, Broke? Bro, tell the people about what you were experiencing, and then you bought something, and then your garden completely transformed. Walk them through that. I don't want to steal too much of your thunder if you're doing a video about it, but share with the people just a little bit what you experienced and what we went through.
I had some plants that was underperforming in my eyes. As the great gardener I am, I have a high standard for everything I grow in my backyard garden area. So talked to a couple buddies like Turp. He was saying I need to kick it up because I'm a 511 user for life. But every now and then you need the heavy feeding stuff like the corn he was talking about. So I bumped it up to that 333 Dr. Earth all organic. I got some long beans that are super long. I don't know if but they're super long. So anyway, I've been using that on it. Now I did pull one stalk of corn off earlier just to see what it looked like. And the only way I can say is, if you ever seen that show called Lock Up Raw, and they show the meth heads when they missing their teeth, and it's just that's how my corn was looking. You know what I mean?
No.
So what's the issue with that? Q, help them out.
You just need to change the balance a little bit. Because 511 is amazing for getting that growth, that green growth flush kicked off and getting the season established to where you can really have a really strong base for your flowering session and for your for everything with your fruiting and everything like that. So basically what Broke needed in his particular instance, he needed to just shift the balance a little bit to where he could actually feed a little bit more phosphorus and potassium. And the phosphorus specifically is for flower setting. The potassium is for flower development. So we got a little bit of both of those worlds to be able to enhance his whole paradigm as a whole. Not paradigm, his whole thing. Just say a whole thing.
Yeah. And then what about the development of the kernels coming out looking like it was a meth addict? Like, Broke said he's also missing the mark on one more thing. What is it?
That's a perfect.
You just did a video about this, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. And it's good you brought that up because this is something I've noticed we as a whole garden community could improve on. So me myself first and foremost, and what I'll say is, you know, getting that corn pollen to the silks of the corn and really just making sure that we establish complete pollination. There are ways that we can really make sure that that happens, and I'm sure we'll all go into that as the creator seasons go forward and everything. But the corn season, I know that there's more ways to do it, and one of those ways is just making sure that you really get good pollination through using something as simple as a tassel bag, and that's just dropping a dime right there. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you could expand on that idea with videos and such. But I mean, it's they work really well because my granddad had them, and back when as soon as I saw how my corn was looking, just like bro's corn was looking as far as the pollination goes, I was like, man, we got to get tassel bags back in our life.
Right. And when he's talking about the tassels and the silks, just so, you know what? This is why I came on Zoom. I came on Zoom so I can show y'all visual aids. So we're going to hop back into.
Bro, you about to make me ditch StreamYard, bro.
Let me hop back in. No, I don't want to leave the flip side. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna go to Google and we're gonna go to corn tassels, right? And oh, they had the silk. Okay, so images, right? So these are the tassels. Oh, this looks like a good picture right here. Can we blow this up? Please let me blow it up.
You just gotta right click it on the Google search.
Oh, hold on.
Go back to the Google search and right click it and then make a open image.
Let me go. Hold up. Wait, you said right click?
And then press open image. It's gonna be a little.
Here we go. Let's open that up.
Hey, yo, Turf.
Zoom it. Oh, no.
Hey, yo, Turf.
What's up?
Malik ain't got your dial up.
No, right? Hey, I didn't think about that, bro. This is going so smooth.
So Malik games. So he's a gamer. So he got that real internet. So
he ain't got your dial up. Like
hey, look, I still took the crown. I don't want to hear it. Got the crown. Okay. Anyway. Focus. All right. So this is the corn plant, people. All right. This is the whole corn plant. When Farmer Q was talking about tassel, this is the male flower. Right? It doesn't look like a flower, but it is. This is the male. These are the tassels that come out of the corn plant. The silk, right, is the stuff that literally looks like silk. It is the ear of the corn, but this is also the female flower. So the corn plant produces both male and female flower, like a squash or a cucumber or a watermelon. So these tassels, when he's talking about get a tassel bag, what farmers used to do and what gardeners still do is they wait until this tassel has developed. You'll start seeing the shells kind of hang off. That's when you know they're ready and they're spreading that pollen. They've now become a mature, young adult male who is ready to spread his seeds and sow his oats throughout the world, right? So they'll take those tassels. And for me, what I do is I will break off sections of the tassel, and then I will sprinkle them deliberately over the silk of the corn ear. So when we're talking about getting that proper development, you can go out there and do what Miss Craft says and do what TNOG of the New Orleans Gardener says and shake them. She tells you to shake your tomato plants. You know, just give them a little shake. You can shake those corn plants as well. But if you want to get real surgical with it and almost guarantee full pollination of your silks that are on the ear of the corn, the female flower of that plant, break that tassel off and shake it on that silk.
Yep.
And then I'm sure Q will show you DIY ways of making that happen for the silk bag of what farmers used to do as well. So I hope you guys took something away from that and learned something there as well.
No, I did. I don't know about nobody else.
Yeah. What else we got?
Keep in mind, me and Cam, the newer gardeners in this equation.
Hey, I'm just as green. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm just as green. I just like to read. That's it. I read a lot. You know.
Turf 3000.
Yeah, Turf 3000. That's what That's what my man Polo called me. He said I was here in the beginning, I'll be here in the end. Turf 3000. I done lived 3,000 lifetimes. So okay, best yet journey. Hey, how you doing? I just saw you sneak in there. How you doing? Thanks for being here.
Hey, Turf, just one more thing. 54 people watching and only 37 thumbs up. I'm not saying, now I'm looking at you in the camera. I'm not saying it's you that didn't hit the like button. And
hey,
to that one person that thumbs down, if you still watching, who cares?
Well, you know what? My man Roberto Blake said it best. When you see me, I might go live and talk about it. But listen, no one out hustles you more than your haters. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They came here for free and decided to watch long enough to disagree with the information we're putting out, which is trying to help people, or they just don't like me. And that's fine. People in life won't like you. It is what it is. I appreciate you spending the time to come over here out of your day to give me that dislike, and we're gonna keep this truck moving. It ain't no thing. Like, listen,
appreciate you contributing to the algorithm.
Right, contribute because you know YouTube likes a little. They like a little
dislike is like that. Dislike is like 5 likes.
Right, that dislike is like 5 likes. So I appreciate you. Thank you. That means you're still subscribed on some level, or you know, you just gotta come in here and show your hate with whatever it may be. Whatever makes you uncomfortable about me, that's fine. That's your problem, not mine. We're gonna keep it moving now. We're not gonna hang around in there.
Turf, and I'm gonna hit them with this.
Oh, be you, they'll adjust.
Hey, I love it. I'm about to try to find that shirt. That's dope. I mean that hat.
We're gonna have that. We're gonna have that with the Reworking Team brand. Don't worry.
Okay.
Hey, is that gonna be available on the Flip Side Marketplace?
Most likely.
I didn't even mean to throw no alley-oop. We over here playing NBA Street. You know how they used to throw the ball up 3 times before they dunked it and stuff like that, man? We over here doing that and stuff right now.
You can't put all of us together and not expect that.
Right. Ann says she learned something new. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, every corn kernel has a corn silk attached that needs to be pollinated. Facts. Shout out to Love Notes. Right. Coming through with the links right on time as usual. Great information. Thank you, doctor. We got a doctor in the building. Thank you. I appreciate you. This is my first year growing corn, so you just schooled me on that. My ears are forming and my silk is visible. What do the different colors of silk mean? Oh, that's a wonderful question. And I'm gonna let Eco, you ain't been talking. You wanna tackle that, or should I throw it the cue? I don't think he can hear us. Can he hear us?
He can hear us. He's looking. He can hear us.
I can hear, man. I just been taking in all the information, but
okay.
You know, this is my I guess this is my position in the group. My position is you all have the technical.
Hold on, wait. Before you go down that road, are you about to answer this silk question, or can we come back to you? Because I want to get into the question. Because if you're not,
go ahead, answer the question, man.
Okay, Q. There you go. You can have it. Then we come back to you.
Give me the question. Give me the question straight, so I can give it to you straight.
So it said they call me Sunshine. Says this is my first year growing corn. So you just schooled me on that. My ears are forming and my silk is visible. What do the different colors of silk means?
Okay, so your silk essentially it's going to decay either way. It's going to turn from a clear yellowish color to a brown color anyway, but it will progress faster into that brown color once it's been pollinated. Another thing you can keep in mind about that whole process too is that you know God don't make mistakes on purpose. I'll say that. So basically those silks are going to form before your male plants develop completely. Like before your tassel develops completely, your silk is going to be ready to be pollinated. So basically you're going to be in a situation where if you're paying attention, if you're out there somewhat consistently and watching for that window of opportunity, you're going to be able to hit it. But the thing about it is, let me tell y'all, corn pollen is only viable for 18 to 24 hours, but the corn tassel produces corn for more than 1 day. I mean, the corn tassel produces more pollen over time. So yes, you have a longer window than that 18 to 24 hours. But if you want to like collect pollen in a tassel bag or something, say in the morning, and then you want to come back in the evening and pollinate with those tassel bags, that's a way to use that information with that window of time.
Yes, yes, yes. And even further, because I know we got a lot of females in the building, no different from your ovulation period, that silk is ovulating, is ready to go. When you start to see it turn brown, that door has closed, right? It's no more baby making opportunities for that silk. And for the person who says, oh, best yet journey, which is woo 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 woo, best yet. Have we talked about when corn is ready? We haven't, but we can roll right into this because it's a perfect segue. When we talk about the silk being ready, when the corn is ready, is when you see the silk completely dry out, and that is your best indication that it's ready. Now, when you see it go completely brown, go ahead and wait another week and then harvest it. Give it another week, just like the watermelon, right? When you think your watermelon is ready, because I've been talking to TNOG, Aunt Linda, behind the scenes all day, because I'm ready to pull this watermelon that's ready, that I thought was ready, but it's not. It sounds perfect. It looks perfect, but it's still got a little bit way to go. To be safe, go ahead and wait about another 5 to 7 days and then harvest your corn, and you should be good to go as far as when it's ready. Yankee sister, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for the donation.
Well, hey, Turf, I got a question I want to answer. Is that okay? I don't want to.
Yeah, no, go for it. This is our panel. It's not mine.
Right. Miss Krabs say, question for the group: when it comes to heavy feeders, do you prefer liquid or granular feeds?
Oh,
liquid.
So I got a two-way split with that. I'll go first, and then it looks like Cam got something to add to that, and then we'll go back to Eco to finish what he was about to say. So I like to, so with my corn that I recorded, but I didn't get the video out because I was busy. Life happened. I knew I was going to put corn in that bed. So I primed it with granular in the late spring, knowing that it takes time for some of that granular to break down, release, and become readily plant available to that point.
So my phone delayed that. I thought my phone didn't send it originally, so I sent it on the computer. And it just sent it after like 20 minutes. Like that was 20 minutes ago.
Dang, okay.
I mean,
I'll send that back.
You can keep it. Okay, well, you send it back if you want, but I'm gonna send that second one was on bad.
PJ, you stupid. PJ said, what is ovulation? You better leave me alone, PJ. So what I like to do to get back on what I was saying. Oh, okay. I see you. Hey, we got another one in the building. There we go. Let me finish what I'm saying, and then we bringing in my dude, the one who took the strong L, Polo. That's right. I'm the Stripe King right now. I got that. But let me finish. Okay, granular. When it comes to the granular, I like to prime my bed with granular to give it that slow release. So by the time that stuff breaks down and become readily available to the plant, it's there. And then I like to continuously feed it with a well-balanced fertilizer according to that plant in the soil profile along the way while it puts on its fruit. Now, that's all I got. Let me give it to Cam.
So I'm kind of in the same boat with you. When I start, I like to go with a granular because it's going to take a little bit of time for that granular to get into the soil and become plant available. And then I like to intermix a little bit of liquid. So I done jumped on the 511 boat. So I'll hop in there with that 511 towards that end cycle a little bit before I'm getting ready to do another granular feeding. So I kind of do an alternation, and in between my granulars, I like to go liquid, a little bit of liquid.
Yeah.
All liquid.
he's sticking with it. Eco, how about you chime into that and then finish what you were saying earlier before I stop you, brother? And LOG mama girl. Oh, Cam wasn't done. My bad.
So the only reason I say with the granular is that, like, if you've got a heavy feeder, it's just hard to put down like that larger amount of nutrients with the liquid. Because it's the same in the lawn. You'll just need that much more of the product. You can get there quicker with a granular than you can with a liquid. But nothing to say that anything's wrong with going all liquid.
Yeah, I mean, as long as I got a plant in the bed, but I'm more along the lines of turf. When I got downtime on one of my raised beds, and I use chicken manure, I fill it up with grass, leaves, and everything else. But look, I'm gonna step down because you say you had polo.
No, you don't have to step down. We can have like 40 people on this screen.
When you do like a little same thing with StreamYard when you
unless you wanted to go. Yeah. My bad.
Yeah. Cool, dude. I'm a 40-year-old man on a Saturday, dude. Ain't got nothing going on.
I don't know what is the day. Like
that's what I'm saying. Okay,
I've been off for 2 weeks, so I ain't been paying attention to none of the days. I don't know what day it is.
Do you got a job, Kale?
Okay, so Atmosphere, he or she keeps asking this question, and I promise I'm giving it to Eco after this. They say anything to keep animals away, yes and no. And then they said, anyone here have problem with creatures eating your corn, yes and no. I don't have that issue, but you will have that issue if you live more along a wood line. Keeping the animals away, the first line of defense is male urine. I'm gonna just give it to you like that. Male urine puts a layer of protection. They think humans are there, specifically the male urine, and that will thwart off a lot of your animals that want to come into your garden. The problem with that is it only lasts as long as it lasts, which is maybe max a week. So you got to go out there on the regular and do that. Now, there are other ways to keep them away, which is crowd confusion. You plant other things there that they may be attracted to, feed those animals something else, or plant enough for them so you can share. A good example of that is like you'll see on Lead Farmer 73's channel all the time. His trees grow big and tall, 20-foot tree, right? You don't ever see him bother trying to harvest the fruit at the very top of the tree. You know why? Because that's for all the other creatures out there. But when that plant is mature after about 5 years and you got 5 trees out there, you don't have to worry about fighting with the animals if you have the space when you grow enough to where everyone gets their share. So keeping the animals away, you can go into products like Stop All, I think is what, or Keep All Away, or there's different products out there that you can use that will thwart off these animals and keep them away. But in reality, I want you to try to shift your perspective as far as let's interplant with things like marigold, calendula that keeps away certain things, or plant things that you know they want in a whole nother sacrificial garden. Like when I finally get to a land that I want, right? You will see me planting. I'm going to sow a garden that is going to be self-sowing, that will be the sacrificial garden that I never intend on harvesting anything from. I will plant things there that I know are going to attract things that already are going to be attracted to my garden. But this whole area will be a no work, no till, no fuss type of area that is dedicated to letting them do whatever the heck they want to do. Now, I will still protect the things that I want to protect, but for the most part, I'm going to give them their piece of the pie and then allow them to do what they want with it, grow enough fruit trees to where the birds don't take it's impossible for them to eat it all, just like it's impossible for me to eat it all. So I charge you and challenge you to try that, give that a try. Polo came and then now he's gone. So since he's gone, I'm going to give it to Eco. And then if anybody has something to add to that, you can add to it once we give it to Eco. But Eco been quiet. He's been patiently waiting. So go ahead, Eco, speak to the people.
No, man, much love to y'all. I was just saying that I realize as I grow and as I work on this YouTube journey, I realize a lot of the terminology and a lot of the physics and the scientific piece I don't understand. But what's been passed down to me is tradition and not necessarily knowing what happens and the chemistry that happens. So it's just like corn. When I see corn, I know there's certain times of the season. When it's Easter, I know there's certain times of the season. When it's a full moon, I know there's certain times of the season. When I see cows sitting underneath the tree, I know there's a certain time to go fishing. It's like, I really don't know the terminology with a lot of stuff. I just know how to be successful with what's been taught to me by my father. So I really feel like on a lot of platforms, I may not have, quote, the answers, but I understand the process. And I also believe that, like, a lot of people talk about pesticides, they talk about fertilizing. In my zone, it pretty much rains pretty much at 4 or 5 o'clock. Right now it's raining. I had to come in. I'm constantly moving. It rains pretty much about 4 or 5 o'clock during the day. And if you try to do certain things in certain zones, it don't work. What I do is what works in my zone. And my recommendation to anybody is to learn your atmosphere and learn your zone, and understand what works in your world, because some stuff I do, it creates mold, it creates pests. And then some things I've learned that, it's just like right now, y'all teaching me about grass. When it's dry, I learned to let my grass get a little bit higher. And then now, as we're getting a lot of rain, I need to cut a little bit lower. So I'm learning from everybody, but I guess I really don't have a lot to weigh in as far as the terminology, but I got a lot to weigh in what works in my zone and what works in my backyard. So much love. I'm just kind of sitting here absorbing, and I hate I don't have a lot to kind of add to it. But when it comes to corn, I also learned that when it's brown, it's time to get down. And I know that don't make any sense to a lot of people, but
yeah, it do.
Well, you know what, Eco? I'll tell you something too. There are people in this world who have a unique way of perceiving things, and I think that knowledge always has matchmakers. So you have people who are gonna come off as what the common man perceives as somebody who's intelligent or somebody who can give you a lot of knowledge or whatever. But then you also have people who are just as intelligent, who are, if not more intelligent, way more experienced, by the way, let me tell you, who can really put it down to you in a level where sometimes the fancy words can't really put it right. And I mean, there's always something, you always have to have something for every situation. And it's like, that's the beautiful thing about this panel right here. It's like, we got so many different flavors that go into that pot to make that gumbo, that that jambalaya we cooking over here, and that's what it's all about. Every single ingredient makes the whole pot be unique in what it is.
Yeah. So and I agree with that, Q, because what I was going to say, Eco, a lot of times, I mean, the way that our ancestors learned, they didn't know the terminology, they didn't know the science behind all of that stuff. I grew up in the country, and it was some stuff that we went by feel. Like, it was a certain time of year, it was that you need to touch this, you need to feel that, and that's what it is. Hey, it's like being in the kitchen with your grandma trying, hey, grandma, how much of this I'm supposed to put in there? I don't know, baby, put some in there. Just put some of that in it. Yeah, that's enough. Yeah, you good. But I think I'm a little mix of the two, because I understand that feel portion of it and the ability to be able to communicate it in a little simpler and easier to understand way. But I also like to learn the scientific reason for it. So then that helps me be able to come up with a analogy that I can explain it a little bit better, from the scientific to something that everyone will be able to understand.
And that's what's so beautiful about, like, this panel and you all. That's why, a lot of times I'll be reluctant to get on, because I want to focus so much on absorbing the different aspect of it and understanding why, the whys. It's just like, it's almost like you understand processes, but you want to know why did it happen and what started that process. So for me, I'm like sponging everything that I can possibly do, so I can better understand, okay, that's the reason why fish don't bite at certain time. That's the reason why when you see the tassel on a corn tree, it's a process that's like equal to us as humans. I love this conversation. I love the process, and I'm just kind of trying to absorb everything. So, I mean, I'm just kind of sitting back trying to absorb everything, but much love to y'all.
Always,
Love
Eco.
to you too,
Same
brother.
to you,
Hey,
brother.
real quick. I'm sorry to interject. This is an awesome panel. I'm glad everyone's here. Oh, Pusher's coming in the building. Real quick. Polo, speak up so we can hear you. Polo's having technical difficulties. He can't see us, but I want to make sure we can hear him. That way he can speak. He's going to pull it up on his phone and whatnot. So Polo, please speak up. Make sure we can hear you, bro.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Bruh,
Yes, sir.
we got you. So let me pause real quick. I want to bring somebody in. You guys have seen this speaker system time and time again. This is another veteran. I love this dude, man. He's a Air Force vet. Oh, where'd you go? Where'd you go, Pusher? Come back. So when he comes back, I'm gonna bring Pusher in.
Hey,
So
sir.
what's up? What's going on?
All right, I'm gonna step down. My package store closed at 7:30.
Okay. It's
Is
all
that
good.
too much information? I'm sorry.
Nah, you good.
All
Nah.
right, brother.
Come on back if we still here, man. Come on back.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in the chat.
Okay. All right.
All right, bro.
Yeah. You still here, bro?
I'm trying to get out. Hold on. All right.
Okay, here we go. Now we got him. We got Pusher. Pusher is in the building.
Pusher.
So this is a Air Force veteran. He's a retired aircraft electrician. And you guys saw this really cool speech. There he is. Push it to the limit. There he is. That's my dude. So he
What's
built,
up, my friend? I can't see you. There he is.
I can see you though. He built me this, and then he built one for my brother too. Let me show it to you real quick. I'm trying to get him into gardening. He's being stubborn.
Sorry if I messed up. I'm on vacation.
You out of state. But look, this right here, when you see this in my videos, my brother, he got his, oh, look, Cam grabbed his too.
Can't show out on me.
So awesome, bro. That's so
These
awesome.
speakers were custom made and built
That's my dad.
by Long Pusher himself. And he's at his parents' house, who they have a garden, right, Pusher?
Oh yeah. Let me see if I can get it to you guys.
Okay. But my man Pusher, he's a Bermuda lawn.
This
Okay,
thing. There we go.
so I should be watching Pusher then.
Yeah, you should be watching Pusher, kind of, sort of. Just understand he's gonna tell you not to follow anything he does because he breaks all the rules. His motto is push it to the limit. He says,
Yeah, I just push it to the limit. That's all.
He says, what does the label say? Max rate. He does max rate every time. So
Max rate's the minimum rate.
Right. they say, come on over to the veggie side, Pusher. That's what they're saying. So
I need to. We're about to build one too.
Look at that.
This is my dad's.
Yes, your dad is the man. Look at that. Oh, what is that? What is that? Go back. Right there. What are those beautiful rows? What is that? Is that lettuce?
Right here?
No. Up there a little bit more.
That's beans.
Those are beans. What kind of beans?
Hold on, I'll tell you exactly what we got going on here.
Yeah,
he's got little tags on everything.
We're gonna make you the center of attention real quick. Spotlight.
Here, hold on, let me open up this little gate of his.
Let's get a garden tour in the building. I'm hoping my man Justin, he's in the chat right now. Justin, come on up here, man. I hope you're home. You might be at the firehouse, but that's a banana pepper, right?
You guys got good reception?
Yeah, we see you just fine.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got this is Hungarian yellow peppers over here. All of these are Hungarian yellow peppers. He's got this. It's looking like that.
That's nice.
Then he's got his beans.
He's not home.
And then he's got cucumbers. He's got mountain merit. He's got tomatoes, sweet tomatoes. And then he's got, let's see, what is this? Roma tomatoes.
Yeah, he's gonna make some. Does he make his own sauce?
Oh yeah.
That's
He's got the little ones for the sauce. Mountain Merit. We got some Roadster. We got some Swiss Char.
Swiss Char
starting to grow.
What zone is he in? What state is he in, if you don't mind me asking?
Lake Erie, right on Lake Erie. In between Toledo and Cleveland.
Okay, so y'all know Lead Farmer. He from that Toledo. So that I think that's like a zone. That's probably like a zone 6B, 6A. So y'all right on time with the Swiss Char. See, he has cool season crops already in the ground coming up.
Yes, he's already prepped for that. He's got beets. He's got Detroit dark red beets.
Yes.
He's got
5? Oh, okay, it might be zone 5. Best yet said 5.
He's got some carrots.
Some Nantes. I got carrots in the Flipside Market Store, by the way, guys. Go check them out. It's some pretty cool varieties.
Then he's got I broke it. Don't tell him. Some bug treated Simpson lettuce.
Oh,
we'll just set that. We'll just set that right there. We'll just set that right there. But yeah, that's what he's got. And then he's got his worm. He does stuff. He does sunflowers. I've seen him do sunflowers here and all sorts of stuff. Corn, everything. He switches everything out.
So everyone's envying the gate and the beautiful protection. So the person who is in here, Atmosphere, you're struggling with a lot of animals. Look at what Pusher's family has right here.
Oh yeah. So what
you might want to spend the time in it.
We have a lot of deer, rabbits, coyotes, a little bit of everything that comes through here trying to eat his stuff.
Right.
He's got his little welcome to our patch.
Like it.
He's got the angle rod with the webbing.
And here's the thing. Pusher is probably one of the best DIY channels I've seen. We're going to drop a link for your channel here. The link to the seeds, though. Oh, it's the Flipside Marketplace. Please, one of my moderators, drop that link. But Pusher, I mean, when and if you start a garden, you gonna put it in a nice little. The people want to see how to do this. Are you going to teach them how to do it?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, just like I do with every video, but I'll show them.
You can build though. You might not know how to grow yet, but you can build that fence real easy and make it cheap for the people, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I'll show everybody all the tips and tricks, and I always modify, do things a little bit differently.
That's right.
I've already. We're gonna have a raised garden. Actually, you guys might actually like this. He's got an apple tree. That's
nice.
Oh, that apple tree is well pruned. Healthy. That is such a well pruned apple tree.
How old is the apple tree?
He's got he's got an expert that comes out and helps him trim. That's like a big time apple guy. He comes out and he comes out and makes sure that he's trimming it correctly.
Look at that! Look at that off-center technique. Got me thinking of Cameron Elevated Lawnscapes channel over here, boy.
Yeah. Oh, with the live edge.
Because I'm planning on doing that. I haven't done it yet, but I'm planning on it.
I saw the apple Pusher.
And then he's got all this.
What else you got to show us,
bro? That lawn is so beautiful. Like, oh my gosh.
And this is, I think he said this is turf tiff tall fescue.
Oh, okay, so it's 5th grade. Oh, that's the good stuff, dude.
No, that's fescue. That's cool.
Is this fescue?
Oh, okay.
Is this fescue? He didn't know. Yeah, but it's 30-year-old seed.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that looks like a very old cultivar of fescue.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
he's in for overseeding here soon. You need to go ahead and knock that out for him. Be a good son.
I'm only in Louisiana. He's in Ohio. No big thing. I can make that work. Yeah, but that's the lawn. And then most of the stuff he added after I left. Went in the military, and then he added all the stuff. And then got a dog.
G Mama said that apple tree though, mind blown. I know that apple tree is pruned with precision. Farmer Q called it out quick. Let me so Lawn Pusher, tell the people where they can find you on IG. I'm pulling up your YouTube channel right now.
Let's see.
You got about 10 IGs that you run.
Man, I'll tell you, you got to grind. Hey, there's nothing wrong with grinding, right?
So
I have 1776 Labs. That's this. Lawn Pusher, which is the same logo. But Instagram, any other social media, all you got to do is check me out at 1776 Labs, or Lawn Pusher, or you can look up 1776 Dad, and that's me. And then of course my little son does skateboarding. He's pretty good at it. You can look at him as he's
Honey Badger.
honeybadger.skate on Instagram.
Yeah.
We just got back from skateboarding here in Ohio. This is awesome.
Yeah, man. So like I said, my man here is a true hero, true veteran. He's living the good life where I'm trying to get to the other side of the fence.
You are. Yeah.
He's trying to get to the other side of the fence like Pusher one day.
Hey man, you make me want to go fix a valve real quick. I'll be right back. No, I'm just
he's got this. He put it in with the cement.
Okay.
This regulation horseshoe pit that he hasn't fixed in a while.
That's dope.
There's a horseshoe pit fit up to it. And then we'll look at the front. We'll look at the front here in a second. But yeah, I was 20 years military, Air Force. Of course, you know, Bert, that's what I call him. He's Army EOD. And I like to give him a little bit of crap sometimes by calling him Bert, but
Air Force.
Here's the front yard. He's my dad does a good job.
He's nasty.
I know. I'm jealous. He's got.
Oh yeah, that looks good, man. Look at him. He got the Patriot flags waving out there. That's what I'm talking about. So,
yes.
Man, thank you for showing us that, Pusher. Still, hey, feel free to hang around. I'd like to kick it over to my man Polo. He turned his camera off for the time being. Maybe he's doing something. But Polo, if you can hear us, please come on and reintroduce yourself to the people as the loser of the stripe contest.
Oh yeah, he's a big loser. Hey, I just want to let you guys know, happy 4th. I'm here on vacation, but
you froze. You froze. I think he was on his way out. If anything, I think you pushed your internet to the limit.
Yeah. Later.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he said later. All right, bro. Thanks for popping in, man. Thank you for showing and sharing your parents' wonderful garden. I hope that you pick up the torch this fall and start gardening yourself. Happy 4th. Backwoods, I sent you the link, man. Come on up here. Hit the first link on the top. You'll be in there. Polo, I think Polo still stepped away. So in the meantime,
Polo probably went and grabbed a bourbon.
Yeah, he
turned, man. Big ups to you, man. I'm gonna slide in the chat, man. Big ups to you, man.
Okay, right, Eco. Always great having you, brother.
Right, much love to y'all.
Later.
Cam, what you got?
Oh no, I was just saying what's up or peace out to Eco.
Hey TNOG, I know your ears were burning. We chatting you up. Now we locked out a lot with the gardening. Hello everyone from Zone 10A. I don't like you just because of the zone you in. I am envious of your zone. Your zone is a pretty awesome zone. You can get a lot done out there. But nah, it's all love. Let's talk about a little bit of lawn care. You know, to be honest, Lions Crest, Farmer Q, when it comes to warm season lawns, there's one particular YouTuber that I love this channel because he keeps it simple. He keeps it straight to the point. He keeps it on a budget. He keeps it relatable. And his name is Travis Feltner. His channel it's a pretty large channel, but I think he deserves way more viewers than he actually gets. Matter of fact, I'm gonna hit up Travis right now and see if he can join us. But the name of that channel is Budget Lawns. If any of my moderators that aren't actively on the panel can look up Budget Lawns on YouTube and drop this link. I really think if you're a warm season lawn, there's a lot of wonderful warm season lawns out there. I don't want to take anything away from anyone. I don't want to offend anyone. But this particular warm season lawn channel, I don't have a warm season lawn, but the way that he delivers information consistently, it's incredible. And what he can hit on and the amount of information you can learn is pretty cool. Let me hit him up real quick on the side while I pull him up. And Cam, can you start walking us through and let's start talking a little bit about what we need to be thinking about when it comes to cool season lawns and why this is the most important part of our season when it comes to cool season lawns and prepping for the next year.
That I got you.
Okay.
So at this point, where we're at, we're at the point of we're just trying to get through this summer. For a cool season lawn, your season starts in September. So as soon as we get through August, and depending on what zone you're in and where you're at, it may actually start the end of August. But as soon as we get through August, which I always say for a cool season lawn, the hardest times of the year is June, July, and August. Soon as we get through July, the growing season actually starts in September. You need to start prepping for any fall renovations that you're going to do, any overseeding that you're going to do. So now is the time to start picking out and making those plans and picking out what seeds you're going to go with. So whatever that full plan is, you need to start planning that now. It is just like it is, as the name says, a cool season lawn. It is basically a cool season crop. For the garden community, you can look at it the same way. It just starts a little bit later, but so what we're going to do is there's actually a growth calendar or pattern for cool season lawns. I don't know if Turf, maybe you can look that up, but the fall is really the time when cool season lawns actually grow the deepest roots. Like you'll be able to grow the deepest roots, and basically that is what's going to sustain you for that entire next year. So if you slack in the fall, um, going into the next year, you're going to have shallow roots. You're going to have a lawn that is not matured and established. When it comes out of winter, next thing you know, it's going to get hit with summer. It's going to get hit with all the stresses, and it is not going to be ready. Your next lawn for 2021 season is going to start in September. And right now, all we're doing in June, July, and August, we're riding off of the preparation that we did last fall. So looking at it, like this is the time to where we want to go in the fall. We're right where Turf's got his cursor at right now. We're in that summer period. Lawn's not really growing for a cool season. Like roots are diminishing. The lawn it's just trying to hold on. And I say it all the time. Right now, we're just strapped in. You're strapped in and holding on. You're not gonna turn a lawn around this time of year. The only thing you can do is hold on, water it, try to keep as much of it alive as you possibly can. But we're only a month and a half ish, almost 2 months away from when you can start turning your lawn completely around. And again, this is the growth pattern for a cool season lawn. So when we get into that fall, one of the things that I want to point out is picking your seed. Um, that is probably one of the most important things that you need to do as far as improving your lawn. So picking your seed is important. Getting a soil test prior to getting ready to seed in the fall. You don't know what nutrients are currently in your soil. Your soil test will help tell you exactly what you need to do. One of the things in the fall with seeding that a lot of people almost always say is you need to put down a starter fertilizer. Well, if you've actually got a lawn or a soil content that is high in phosphorus, you don't need a starter fertilizer because almost all starter fertilizers actually have a high phosphorus content. If your soil test says you're already sufficient in phosphorus, you don't need to go down with a say a 12-12-12 or a 12-24, whatever. That middle number, you don't need it because you already have sufficient phosphorus in your soil. So along with the importance of picking out what seed you're going to use, you need to make sure that you're also getting a soil test to know what nutrients are already in your soil. So when you put that new seed down, you can also be applying a fertilizer that's actually going to help that seed come up and thrive in the fall. For a cool season lawn, once those temperatures start dropping and we get down into those 70s and like maybe 50s and stuff at night, you need to be pushing it. You need to be pushing your lawn to grow, establish, and get as healthy as you can in the fall. So that's really what we should be looking at doing coming up in preparation, seed choice, and then making sure I'm pretty sure we'll get into more detail of seed choice, but make sure you pick your seeds and then soil testing and start getting ready for that fall overseeding or renovation if you plan to do it.
Right. And I know that we've been harping pretty heavy on the cool season lawns, right? But the show, I know a lot of y'all are in the warm season grasses. And right here, we have a calendar that shows you both of those worlds, where for warm season grasses, the time is yours now. This is where you're getting the most growth. This is where you're reaching the most, this is where your window opens for the most, this is where your season begins. Your season begins in the beginning of spring. And that's why I wish my buddy Travis was available right now. I don't think he is, where he could come in and really break this down for you a little bit more. But during the summer, when you keep adequate moisture and you feed your summer lawns, that's your Bermuda lawns, your zoysia lawns, your St. Augustine lawns, your centipede lawns. This is when they're going to perform to their utmost best potential during the season. Now, no different from in the garden community, we have warm season crops and cool season crops. This is the difference when it comes to the grass, as far as you have your warm season grasses and your cool season grasses. So Cam and I, we dwell here in the cool season realm, but we're about to get Farmer Q super smart on the warm season grasses. That way, eventually, maybe this time next year, he can get smart with you and really run through these warm season grasses and tell you what he's going through when it comes to his Bermuda lawn. Over on the side, we've been discussing a lot of his lawn, but this is just to give you an example of what those grow patterns and grow cycles look like when it comes to the cool season lawn.
I'm coming with it next year. I'm actually I'm gonna do what I can this season and everything like that. But I understand that the foundation of what you prepare for the next prime of the season, you know, is what I'm really gonna see those benefits from. I gotta rate. So let me tell y'all something. I have a neighbor, and bless her heart, she runs her side of her house irrigation system as much as she runs the front of her house irrigation system. And as a result, I've tried to tell her, but you know, some people don't want to hear anything you have to say. So what I'm going to do, this is bad for her, but it's not bad. I'm not doing it to her. I'm going to raise the level of my dirt along the slope, because we have a natural drain that goes to the street. I'm going to correct, because my grade is slightly low. Now, if she would just stop watering as much, we'd be just fine. But I'm going to make my grade how it's supposed to be. And when she waters, she's going to kill all her grass.
Yeah, so sometimes you just got to let people learn the hard way. Cam and I have experienced it with neighbors, friends, and clients. I used to run a lawn consulting program. I had quite a few of clients, and then COVID happened. And because I have dial-up internet, as Cam would say, it wasn't conducive for me to do virtual consultation. So I killed all of that. But sometimes people, here's a problem, and it's not necessarily a problem, it's just where we are as a society. And I kind of led into this chat, this live cast that we're doing right now, preferencing with this. We have to find a way to meet people where they are, right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. We're in the age where you push a button, like Led says, and everything comes to you. I push a button, food is here in 30 minutes. I push a button, something gets delivered in 2 to 3 days. I push a button, voila. So we're in this push button phase where everything happens so fast and so quick. Now, a lot of people, they come into lawn and they come into gardening thinking, well, what's the one thing that I need to get a vegetable garden like yours? Or what's the one thing that I need to have an immaculate lawn like yours? And the honest truth of it is there's not any one thing. And I will stick to this to the end of the day, is it all starts with, unless you're container gardening, that's different. because for the first year or two, you're pretty much good with container garden if you're buying bagged soil. It all starts with a soil test. I can only help you so much. I can tell you to go grab anything off the shelf. I can tell you to go grab Turf Builder from Scott's, which is an amazing product. The prills are uniformed, homogeneous prills that has ammonium sulfate in it that will release and feed your lawn and make it green.
It'll be green in a heartbeat.
The problem is another 2 weeks goes by and it's not green anymore. And the reason for that is maybe you're not really truly addressing the deficiencies in your soil. So we have to feed the soil. That's the key. But I can't tell you what you need until you do your part and you go and get a soil test. Now, there is many ways of getting a soil test. I recommend reaching out to your local extension office to see what university they work with. But you also have things like Spectrum Analytics. What's another one, Cam, that you really like?
Spectrum is who I use. Logan Labs is another good one. Outside of those two, I think Waypoint? I think Waypoint is another one.
Right.
Waypoint is another one. Those are between those and your local extension office. I would put Spectrum Analytics, Logan Labs, and your local extension office, university extension office. That's kind of how I would give you your options. Yes, there are easier ones out there or other quick type soil tests. I wouldn't quite recommend those. I would just say just stick, if you could, stick with one of those three. It'll give you a little more additional information that you may need.
Right. So we got Miss Craft. She said, could you guys give examples of cool season grasses versus warm season type grasses, please? Cam, you already saw it. Go ahead and take it, bro.
Yeah, so Miss Craft, so I'll start with warm season. I think Turf named them, but from a warm season standpoint, we're talking about Bermuda, we're talking about Zoysia, we're talking about St. Augustine. Those are your big. Centipede is another warm season turf. So those are the grasses that they thrive in conditions that are basically 85 degrees and better. Like they love the heat, they thrive on it. And that is when they're going to grow and thrive the best. They love the heat. So one of the traits of a warm season grass is that it is a spreading type of grass. Like it definitely spreads. There are not very many. There's a few cool season grasses that'll grow, but one of the unique characteristics about warm season grasses is the spreading capability. So you really don't have to seed warm season grasses. So with warm season grasses, if you want to thicken it up and you want to make it better, you fertilize it. Like, so I joke about Bermuda being the easiest grass to grow because honestly, with Bermuda, if it ain't thick as you want it or you want it thicker, fertilize it. And as long as it's hot and the temperature is there, it will grow, it will spread, it will thicken up. So the two things that you can do for a cool season lawn.
Before you jump off of Bermuda, I don't want to stop you in your body, but fertilize it in mowing frequency.
Yeah, that was the second one. Fertilize it and cut it. Like those are the two things. If you want a warm season lawn, the mowing part goes for either or. The mowing part goes for a cool season or a warm season lawn. So for a warm season lawn, fertilize it and mow it frequently. Those are like two of the things that you can do for a cool season, for a warm season lawn to make it better. All right, so we're going to shift over to cool season. So cool season, we're talking about ryegrasses, we're talking about tall fescue, we're talking Kentucky bluegrass, the chewing fescues, a lot of the fine fescues. That's what we're talking when we speak cool season. Cool season grasses, once temperatures hit that 80 to 85 range, it basically shuts down. It's like, I'm struggling. I don't like the heat. Where's the AC? Like that's what cool season lawn hence the name of it, just like a cool season crop. So one of the things, as I was saying, warm season grasses spread. Most of the time, one seed equals one plant with a cool season type of grass, with the exception of Kentucky bluegrass. Kentucky bluegrass does have that spreading capability,
And
which
bent
is
grass, right?
and the bent grass. It does have that spreading capability. So what you will see is you'll have perennial rye or tall fescues, and you'll mix in a little bit of Kentucky bluegrass to help with that thickening up and also that self-repairing capability. Um, Once again, cool season lawns, they don't like the temperatures above 80 and 85. And they start to shut down, which is why I say right now we're just strapped in and holding on. Like we've done, and I love the analogy that Turf says is that right now we're the cut man on the fighter. Like only thing you can do right now is for a cool season lawn is hold on, water it, keep it alive. And I got a video coming up about watering. If you're not watering it, I was in the lab right before this. So yeah, that's all you can do right now is hold on and start preparing for the fall. And I did see Yankee's sister, you did say, you asked about, I think you're in Connecticut. So yes, now is the time for you to get ready to do your overseeding. You're not too far. You are a little bit farther north than we are in Maryland. So I would say September 1, you should probably be preparing to do your overseeding earlier on, because I'm actually going to do my overseeding earlier this year than I did the previous 2 years, which I was about mid-September when I did it last year. But coming up, I'm gonna probably September 1, Labor Day weekend, I'm gonna probably be doing my overseeding.
Who's that? Who's that? We got a lot of feedback coming in. Is that you, Polo?
That's Polo.
Is that me? Is that me? My bad. My bad. Hold on.
Okay. I don't know what Polo got going on over there. But they said, Sneaky Polo Ranch said, ahem, I need another notebook. I'm learning more about long grass than I thought I ever would be interested in. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about, man. We are converting. Look, because look at the title of this video. It says, what? Let me explain. It's all connected. Gardening, there's benefits for you to care for your lawn, even in an organic way, so you can use those clippings when you feed your soil. That can feed right into, guess what? Your garden, and vice versa. If you are being a responsible gardener and a responsible lawn care applicator, you are going to take the time to read the label to make sure that it's safe for both your lawn and garden on both aspects of that. So, that's what it's all about. We've been sitting here chit-chatting. He said it sounds like vampires. It did sound like vampires, slightly like zombies. Polo, right now we're in a realm where there's a lot of disease. People are dealing with a lot of disease in their lawns. You had this beautiful way that you explained it. If your humidity plus your high temperatures equals 150 or above, you're now in a humid environment. Can you expound upon that a little bit?
Yeah, so first and foremost, can you all hear me?
Yeah, not the best, but we can hear you.
Well, you know what? Technical difficulties. I ain't tech savvy like my other brothers, so I just do a little bit. It's because I'll be doing other things. I'll be doing music. I don't jump into all this stuff. But I hope that you all can hear me. I did have my fan, because I'm in my shop. I did have my fan blowing directly into the phone. That's probably why you all heard. That's why y'all heard all that noise. Come on, make this quick so I don't sweat. I may have to relocate. So if your air temperatures and your humidity, when you watch the news in the morning, if your air temperatures and your humidity equal over 150 combined, that's when the window opens for disease to be present in your lawn. Right now, what we have been getting is a lot of humidity folks, a lot of humidity. Not only with humidity, we've been getting some rain. You know, a lot of people preach that, you know, you don't want to rain your grass, you don't want to water your grass at nighttime, because when that water sits on your grass blades in this humidity window, a fungus can be present in your lawn. There is a lot of funguses in people's lawns today. I went out today to monitor some lawns, and I'm seeing a lot of brown patch that is in people's lawns. I have a video up. If you don't know what these funguses are, what they look like, go to that video, go look. You can Google however you feel that you want to go and check out these pictures of funguses so that you can be aware of it. Because the main thing, like I said, and my brothers say as well, you don't want to go through this reseeding, putting new grass in your lawn and doing all that your lawn look beautiful, only to get to this point of the season and then have a fungus tear your lawn up, because it will. I visited a lawn today. I wish I can be able to show you all the pictures, where half of the grass was green and the other half of the grass was brown. And of course, what a typical person thinks is, oh, it's hot outside. You know, my grass it's because of heat stress. No, man, that's not because of heat stress. That is a disease. So, Turfy, you want me to break it down, like what they can look for as far as for disease, or?
Absolutely. I think the chat is liking what we're putting down. So unless the chat has any objections to it, speak up now or forever hold your peace. I'm gonna let Polo hold the mic. What you think, Q? You learning something?
Learning, I'm absorbing, I'm soaking it all in.
There we go. How y'all feeling, chat? Y'all like it? Y'all like it? Y'all want to keep going? You want a little bit more? You want to peel a few layers of onion back?
Kolo, have you seen like, do y'all see like Fairy Ring and Dollar Spot out there?
We see brown patch, we see dollar spot, we see melting out, we see leaf spot, we see lithium blight. I don't see rust, I don't see fairy ring and those other diseases. I don't see those here in this area.
I got a light green circle in my front yard, and I'm suspicious about it.
So let me interject real quick. I'm gonna let y'all roll back with it.
Okay.
So for one, CR, you apparently helped CR Polo,
right?
Because with your video, you helped them identify some fungus in their Bermuda grass, and it is now healing. Hand clap, a round of applause for Polo on that. And then Miss Craft, don't think just because we're talking about the lawn right now that this does not apply to your garden, because Miss Craft came in and she said, same advice goes for watering your gardens. If done wrong, you will splash up fungus onto your plants.
I think she's literally talking about water gardens, though.
What do you mean?
Like, there's a type of garden called a water garden, I think.
No, I think she's talking about when you water your garden. You know how if you water it too heavy, just like when it rains super heavy, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's what she means, but I get what you mean. But in any
I was thinking a little too critical.
Right, yeah, you were going too critical with that, I think, Q. Keep in mind that when you're watering your garden, keep that water low. If you have to hand water with a spigot or something like that, keep it low. Don't do too much splashing, especially with stuff like tomatoes. All of that disease hangs out in the soil. That splashes up, that gets on your plant. That's why you'll see most people prune the lower fourth of their tomato plant to go ahead and rid that possibility of it getting on the leaves. What's her name? Beauty in the Garden. She has a whole video series on how she explains to you why and how she prunes her tomato plants the way that she does. But that's it. I'm gonna get off the podium. I digress. I give it back to Polo, Cam, and Farmer Q. Y'all
Hold on. Keep talking really quick, y'all. Keep talking really quick.
Okay, well, Cam was about to say something, so go ahead, Cam.
So I'm gonna just jump into before we get to the fall. I know we're prepping for the fall right now, and that's what we're talking about here. But if you do have you've got a little bit of time right now to try to keep things alive as much as possible. So we're about to get into a lot of heat. I know a lot of people are experiencing heat already. So watering, just to hit on watering and talk about your current watering cycle. So you want to be watering deep and infrequent. So what that's going to mean is probably twice a week, no more than 3 times a week, you should be at least putting down a ½ inch of water every watering cycle. What that does is, it, given the conditions that Polo were just talking about, high temperature, high humidity, you want to try to keep those grass blades as dry as possible. So I was actually talking to a sod farmer that I have here locally, and I was just kind of trying to learn their fungicide and like what does their plan look like. He was like, you know what we do? We try to water heavy, less often, and keep the turf as dry as possible. That's how we fight fungus. And that's one of the things with watering. You don't want to keep those grass blades wet for long periods of time. So you want to go ½ inch of water, maybe twice a week. If it's super hot, super dry, go 3 times a week. That'll give you like 1.5 inches of water per week. Aim for, if it's not super hot and super dry, go for about 1 inch of water a week. So if there's any other questions regarding water, like that's about what you want to do as far as watering, kind of to get you through the summer. And if you don't have the ability to consistently water, don't take your lawn in and out of dormancy. If you're not going to be able to consistently be able to water, just let it go and start preparing for the fall.
There you go. Now Polo's back in the building. Pick up back the mic, Polo, and continue. But first, before you go, I want to preference with 2 things. First of all, everybody give FR Humphrey a round of applause. That's my girl. That's my homie. She ran the wine contest with us last fall, and she's a wonderful artist. And I hope that she listed some of her pieces on the Flipside Marketplace so she can share that with you. And another thing that I didn't share with you is Polo Fields Lawn Service is a licensed applicator. Now, trust everything he says, but he is human. He is fallible. So always make sure that you verify. Now, with that being said, I give the mic back to my man Polo.
Now, forgive me, you all. Life kicked in, but I had to run. I literally ran. See what I do for you all? I ran to another yard because I'm blessed that I don't have anything in my yard. But let me show you something. If you all can see this, you see these lesions on these blades.
Let me spotlight you.
Brown.
Let me spotlight you.
Okay. Go ahead and spotlight me really quick. Can you all see this? Am I spotlighted yet?
Yes, you are. Hold on.
Okay. Y'all see the lesions on this blade? Brown, green. Okay.
You good. You in there.
We good to go?
Put your hand behind it. Put your hand behind it so they can see. Put your hand behind the grass blade so they can see it clearly. Because that allows it to focus on what you're trying to show. When you put your hand, when you put the blade in front of it, hold on. Your hand behind it. That's a little camera trick.
Like this. Can you see that?
Right, now we can see it. Yeah.
Okay. You see the lesions on this blade. You see where it is green at the bottom, starting at the bottom. Green, brown, green, brown. That right there is what you call lesions on a grass blade. If you see these things on your lawn, in your grass, that means you have a fungus that is present. And that means you need to take action to some things in your lawn. Let me see if I got a couple of more pieces here. There was another one. This one is kind of wilted up a little bit. I don't know if you all will be able to see that, but it's kind of wilted up a little bit. Same thing. It has brown spots on the line. That may be a bad example. Here is another one. Can you all see that one good? Yep. That has brown spots on it as well.
Try to tilt it at an angle towards the camera, just a smidge. Like push your hand forward. There we go. Yeah, we can really see it.
Okay, that right there is what you call a lesion on the blade. Y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, if you have these things in your line, that means that you have a fungus that is present in your line, and you need to take action as far as trying to get that fungus out of your line. It's a lot of people that think that, and that's what I was about to get to. I was actually trying to find a stressed out line. It's a lot of people that has lines that are stressed out. And when I say stressed out, they're brown. They look brown just like a fungus, but a fungus will be more of a darker brown, so to speak. And I wish I had an example. Y'all forgive me. Like I said, I had to run to go. I had to run to. Some people probably thought I was crazy when I was going in that grass and pulling up the grass. But whenever you see something like this, that means you have a fungus. That means you need to apply something. So when you go out in your line and you look at your line, you want to look for something like this. If there is,
hey, I gotta step out for a second. Sorry, y'all. I gotta step out. I'll be back.
I got you.
Okay. So if you do see this in your line, that means that you do have a fungus that is growing in your line, and you need to take action with applying something that can be able to stop that fungus. Okay. They have, and I don't want to get too technical with it, but for the technical people that are in the room, you have systemic fungicides and you have contact fungicides. Contact fungicide is going to get directly on the leaf blade. Systemic fungicide is going to work from the inside out, and it's going to be able to cure the plant. But if that went over everyone's head, make sure that if you have something like this in your line, that you put down a fungicide to be able to stop it, because we are in that fungus season right now. Humidity, rain. Another thing, Cam, I don't know if you touched on this as well. If it is over 85 degrees, or if your line is already stressed out, don't put any fungicides on your line. Don't do that. You're gonna make it worse. Okay.
Stressed out from heat stress, from a heat stress or drought stress standpoint.
Yes, you're gonna make it worse. So don't go that route if your line is already stressed out. You don't want to do that at all. Stressed out, it's already brown, it's already needled, the grass blades is already needling up. Don't do any of those things, because if you do that, then that's going to make your line even worse. Does everybody kind of understand where I can't see the chat or anything? Everybody understand where I'm coming from on that?
Yeah, I'm monitoring the chat over here. It seemed like everybody's good on that and understanding where we're coming from.
Yeah.
So I think we've touched on a couple of things. We've touched on where we're at now.
Hold up, wait. We got the guy.
Oh
man,
my goodness, my man.
Listen, when it comes to learning as much as possible, when I have told you I speak that Matt Martin lingo, this is the dude right here, Matt Martin. Here he is. Listen, this man has literally sweat and bled the green industry since birth. And a lot of the information you see us put out here on our YouTube channels, all of our YouTube channels, when it comes to lawn care specifically, our foundation comes from this man, Matt Martin. And if you don't know this channel, The Grass Factor, if you can educate yourself and keep up with the information that he puts out, it will literally change your life. He is smart in both warm season grass, cool season grass. When I tell you to email me and I say, hey, let me help you off to the side, I do my own research and then I verify it with this man, Matt Martin. He tells me I'm stupid. I need to go back to school and then look into XYZ. And then he tells me what the right answer is and I copy and paste and I give it to you. That's how that works. Matt Martin, thank you for spending the time to join us today. I'm going to pull up your channel so that people can visit you. And if you're really dedicated and you are interested in getting your grass, your turf to the best that it can be, along with a little bit of information when it comes to some woody type plants, this is your guy, hands down, every day, all day. Matt, thank you for spending the time with us. Thank you for popping in. Here we go.
What's up? What are y'all doing?
Hey, man, we're just trying to educate the community as much as possible, man.
We hanging out.
That's what I'm talking about. Happy Saturday. Happy 4th of July. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Guava. We say guava here, Matt.
Guava?
Guava. We say guava here. Guava to everyone in the chat and everyone on the panel. Guava, baby.
Guava, baby. I gotta know what's everybody's beverage of choice right now.
Oh, well, I'm drinking Kirkland's Finest right now. Bourbon, small batch bourbon is probably a very high end bourbon, but you know they take the label off so they can charge you 60% cheaper.
Hey, yo, Turf, can you unspotlight Polo?
He shouldn't be spotlight. I can see him on the live. We got full screen right now.
It's just for us, but yeah, on the live, it's on the YouTube. It's split up.
Well, I put your view back to gallery mode. That might help.
Gotcha.
No, leave Polo in the spotlight. He needs to be in the spotlight. What's up, big dog? How are you?
Come on, man. Let's see your face, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, we're gonna spotlight you, Matt. Matt, tell the people who you are, what you do, what you're trying to do out here.
Well, I'm Matt Martin. I'm just another Joe Schmo from down south that does the YouTube thing. I studied turfgrass management at University of Tennessee, and I made a decision, I guess about 4 years ago, when I had opted to start a business where I was a lawn applicator. Actually, it was a lot longer than 4 years ago. I'm feeling old, but I was starving, broke, hungry, and I had just got done doing the worst job for almost no money. And so I started talking to the camera as a form of therapy, which is funny because we're on turf therapy as it is right now, right? And that was how I got started on YouTube. I felt like I had credible information that was worth sharing. I felt like I knew what I was doing, and looking back on it, I really had no idea what I was doing at the time. But and so I kind of decided to make sure everything I did from that point was to give back to the industry that gave me the opportunity to have my own business and that kind of fun stuff. And then I ended up moving on from spraying yards, and now I do just the most horrific jobs imaginable. And I'm here. Thanks for having me on, Robert. It's good to see everybody. Look who else is on here. Lion Crest Outdoors. What's going on, good sir?
Hey,
how you doing? How you doing?
Talk to you.
Listen, Matt, Lion's Crest Outdoors is the most, second to none, but Cam's right up there with him. He is surgical when it comes to drip irrigation. Period. Yeah. These two guys have done some pretty amazing things. And speaking of Polo, like I've been telling Polo, he needs to hop on the Grass Factor, man. He needs to get on there. The people need to see him. He is a licensed applicator. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah. Ken, you're out of Louisville? That's right. That's right. Go Balls. Go Balls.
Every time.
Yeah, so hopefully we all get to meet up in GIE this year for the Green Industry Exposition. I will be there. If you're a lawn care enthusiast or fanatic, that is where you want to be. That is where it's going down. But I had a lot of people in here. Most of my audience right now, believe it or not, Matt, they're warm season lawns. We try to educate them as much as possible, but we're cool season jockeys all the way full and through. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you have any warm season questions, this is the moment to drop it now. Matt Martin will be your guy who can educate you. So if you have any in-depth further questions that you can back up with a soil test, this is your guy. This is your moment. You don't understand how much of a privilege it is to have this man right here on the live willing to answer questions for free. He's willing to be here for free today. So Matt,
I got so if I have a black gumbo clay, your typical black gumbo clay bordered by limestone as your typical thing that you'd run into in the ground. How many times a year do you think, and what should I okay, let me ask this different. How many times a year do you think I should feed that clay soil, and what should I feed that clay soil with?
All right. Hang on. I need a little bit more information. Where are you?
North Texas.
North Texas. So you're high pH soil?
Yes. Like my water comes out of the tap at like 7.4.
Okay. And you are warm season or cool season? I know starting around Abilene, they start growing cool season, don't they?
Yeah, it's a warm season area. It's a warm season area.
You got common Bermuda, Matt.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll kind of give you a couple of options here. Realistically, how many times do you need to do it? That's kind of up for debate. If it were, I'll caveat this: I have zero experience in North Texas, managing North Texas soil. But what I would do is I would open it up at minimum once a year, and choice of beating it up. If you can get access to a reciprocating tine aerator. Not a drum
Chase
aerator.
He was telling me he wants to aerate my yard this year. Is it too late for that?
Let's see. No, we're 4th of July. You're good. You can do it.
Yeah, because my buddy Chase, he was like, because basically I helped him on an aeration job. I actually ran the aerator for him on a 2-acre property, like half the property. And he was like, I'll aerate your yard for free. I'm sitting over here on like 1,500 square feet, whatever. But hey, I mean, I'm taking it. So I'm going to do that now that you recommended it for sure. Yeah,
it's one of those things that once you'll learn real quick how big of an advantage it is going to be for you. Now, the first 2 weeks after you aerate, you're going to be like, that was a gigantic mistake. So feed it real good after you do open it up. But over the course of the next month, 6 weeks is where, you're really going to start to capitalize on that improvement. And you should be happy with the results if indeed it is going to have a benefit for you. So 98% of the time, it's going to provide a benefit. Okay. There's in a real weird, very specific situations may cause problems, but I don't think it would be in your scenario with warm season grass.
To your point, he's done all these clients this year, and they've all had great benefits from it. And I was going to ask you, do you think, and this is something that me and him have talked about, and one of the things that we want to start, because he wants me to kind of help him with some of the stuff, and I want to incorporate some stuff, and I was going to get this compost spreader. We got this 50-50 sand compost mix that they have at our Texas Pure Products place over here where we're around. And I was wondering, because this is perfect time to ask this, do you think that going and top dressing with that at a certain depth, like, would be beneficial on top of that top dressing? I mean, the aeration?
So I'll give you a couple different caveats. It really depends on how intensive of a nutrient management program you want to run. The big advantage to top dressing with compost is that it cuts down on the amount of fertility maintenance you have to actually apply, right? So, as a lawn applicator, when I'm out and I'm taking care of yards, right, I've got 6, 7, 8 applications to cover a 10-month growing season, right? And say I want to set a yard on autopilot so I can take an 8-week break from visiting that yard. Then it may be beneficial for me to go out there with compost to provide that real slow, gradual feed. And you want to do it when it's warm outside, so that way microbial degradation is taking place to be able to release those nutrients that are in the compost. And so it just buys you time to where you don't have to go look at the property. I always call it autopilot, right? If you're compost top dressing the yard, you're putting it on autopilot. But if you like running, a highly managed, intense nutrient program where you want to be out there spoon feeding it 2 weeks, then you're probably not going to be super happy with your compost because you're not going to have the opportunity to go out there and do it. It's already going to look nice. And so you're going to be like, well, I want to go spray something, but I don't need to spray anything, right? But it's in terms of like long-term correction to the soil, eventually all that organic matter you're going to apply is going to be consumed and broken down, and it's going to deposit carbon and all that over a long period of time, right? So yes, it is beneficial. If you're already high in organic matter, it can lead to a lot of water retention. Where if you're in North Texas, that may be a positive thing. But say you live in an area where you're already getting, 40, 50 inches of rainfall a year, and sometimes you just need things to dry out, then it could work against you, right? So this is just to kind of give more of a total picture there, but specifically where you are, arid region, if y'all are installing a lot of drip irrigation, I know a lot of that is due to water restrictions too, right? That you sometimes run into during the summer.
Yeah, I mean, we typically you be spot on typically, but I mean, these last 2 years, we looking like we changing it up a little bit. You look at all over the United States, it's looking like that, but typically, when it's not getting the water and the lakes are lower, like having that water retention in our area is going to be very beneficial to us. So let me ask you too. I know I'm asking too many questions, but you got me trying to learn and trying to like really, really consume right now. So basically, when you do apply that compost, say you do, and you go on an autopilot for a little bit, you come back and you maybe make that something you do on a yearly basis, that carbon that is now like sequestered in your environment, is that now going to increase I won't get too technical with it, the CEC of your soil to where you can hold more nutrients?
Oh, Q, there we go. Q.
Yes, that's right. So when the compost or any kind of organic matter is mineralized through microbial degradation, then yes, that typically the waste product that is left over once it's fully spent is carbon, and carbon is going to have a higher CEC, right? With you have to remember with the CEC is a cation exchange capacity, so it's going to hang on to cations, right? So your cations being potassium, magnesium, calcium, and a couple others. So it will help retain those pieces of it, and where that can be especially useful in a lawn care scenario is. Now, I don't necessarily recommend everybody get out there and do this, but a lot of times in lawn care, what we have to do is what we call front loading the soil. You'll see it a lot in agriculture where, you may apply 1 pound or 1.5 pounds of potassium all at one time in terms of, hang on, let me back up so I'm clear about this. Say you're going out and you're spreading a 20-0-10, 20-0-10, 20-0-10, 20-0-10, 20-0-10, and you can do that, right? And that way you're going to get ample N, you're going to get ample K. Well, say your distributor calls you and they're like, hey, I've got a bunch of potassium on sale right now, and I can get it to you for $18 a bag. And you're like, oh, wow, that's super cheap potassium. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to put down 1 pound or 1.5 pounds of K across all my properties. Well, that's fine. And that's going to raise your soil levels, but you still need, your nitrogen and phosphorus to get down and complete that piece of the puzzle. So, now you've got all this potassium, you go out, you spread it down. Now you can come back with nitrogen only. Well, that potassium you applied is a cation. It's going to have somewhere to hold on to in that soil to free you up to be able to go make that nitrogen application.
Okay, I got you. So we got capacity. We got a volume, a specific volume that we're working with as we build our CEC.
Not necessarily just volume, but actual binding sites.
Okay,
right?
Okay, yeah. Because you got to be specific about the actual minerals that you're dealing with in regards to that. I got you.
Yes, and that varies between the base saturation, which has been proven to almost be useless at this point in time, but both of those two work in tandem. This is amazing, right? Because listen, man, I know you don't know Lions Crest Outdoors. I know you don't know who Farmer Q is. That's Farmer Q. He is a farmer. He grows garden, and he was showing me his lawn, and he was like, Turf, I'm sorry. I know I'm disappointing you. I'm hacking this thing down. His lawn had to been like 8 inches tall. And I said, bro, you got Bermuda.
That was my backyard, by the way. That was my backyard. I'm in an HOA. They would scout me.
feed it, mow it, it will spread. And I was just talking about budget lawns, and I hit up Travis on the side. He's busy spending quality time with the family, so he couldn't come on here to help me tackle some of these warm season lawns. But you have made my day, Q, just by saying CEC out of your mouth. That had made my day from a gardener to understand that this applies, this CEC, for all my gardeners in the building that don't think that we're talking about gardening anymore. This very much, listen, most foundational programs, fertility programs, are always judged and weighed against corn. Corn is that foundational type plant that you see things weighed against. So don't think that you can't apply. Like I said in the title to this video, let me explain, it is all connected. You can have the best of both worlds. Now, I do want to segue real quick. Tiffany Cherie, she said a funny comment, but I want to get into, she said a funny comment that I'm going to read, right? But I'm going to preference with this first, because I think she was just joking. And if she wasn't, you can still get after this, Matt. But the main comment that I'm getting is controlling crabgrass in warm season lawns, specifically Bermuda grass. I want you to tackle that real quick, Matt. Tell them the ins and outs of that. But then Tiffany Cherie, I think she's joking, right? She's Farmer Q's wife, lovely woman, awesome YouTube channel as well.
We've been watching The Hobbit a lot lately. I'm just going to say that before you say that.
Right. She says, where do you need to live to have a lawn completely made of moss? So I think she's curious to hear that answer, but at the same time, I think she's joking because that's part of her humor. After you get after the moss question, Matt, can you roll into controlling crabgrass, and not only Bermuda, but warm season grasses, period?
Yeah. So, okay. On moss, to have a moss lawn year round, to establish one, I'll tell you a real simple thing is, dilute some buttermilk in a backpack sprayer and go spray it across your dirt, and you'll grow moss in no time.
Boom.
That's awesome.
We used to paint yogurt on rocks, and the rocks would grow moss. So just kind of an old.
Man, that's you made my day with that. Like, I never would have known that. Like, that's so cool.
It's some I don't know how factual it is, but it's one of those old things that was passed down to me being in the business that we did, and it seemed to work. But you got to have shade is going to be beneficial in maintaining a moss lawn, not necessarily a prerequisite, and also plenty of moisture, right? So it's going to favor moist conditions, and you don't have to manage it to a certain pH. Moss can grow well in low pH soil. Moss can grow well in high pH soil. Back in the day when I was coming up in the industry, everybody told me that if you had moss, you apply lime, right? You raise the soil pH and it wouldn't grow. Moss isn't going to grow in high pH soil. Well, that's not true. Moss will grow in any pH. Is one of those old things. So
I agree with you on that one, Matt.
Yeah, moisture is the name of the game. That's what you got to have is moisture.
Moisture.
Now, in controlling crabgrass, there's so many different options in Bermuda, and typically there's
Let me preference this for you. I'm sorry to interrupt.
You're good.
Most of the people in the chat, they don't have a sprayer, right? Most of them, they would probably go with a spreader because it's the cheaper option. Now, I'm trying to convince my gardening community to invest in backpack sprayers, specifically battery operated backpack sprayers, which I need to have a conversation with you on the sideline about, Matt, which I'll call you here in a few days and talk to you about that. But let's give them both options. When I know you're going to break down a few different options as far as chemical types, but I think it's worth tapping on the benefits, the pros and cons between the liquids and the granulars, and then I won't take up any more of your time because I know you're a busy man.
No, you're good. So I don't, in turn, your best option there is prevention, right? Is the best way to go about tackling crabgrass. And in terms of what you can apply preventatively, the world's kind of your oyster. You've got granular prodiamine of any different flavor and write-up that you want to go. Following bag label instructions are going to be pretty spot on for being able to achieve what you're looking to achieve. Now, if you already have crabgrass, this is where the complexity comes in, and there are no granular options post-emergently that I'm aware of that are effective enough that I would make that recommendation. So you are locked into spraying at this point. And here's kind of also the second thing is, yes, there's lots of options to kill crabgrass in Bermuda. However, they're all expensive too. So get ready to open up the checkbook because it's not going to be fun to stroke these bills for the first time. First and foremost, like you'll see Celsius as a product. Celsius will work on very young crabgrass, very young, newly emerged crabgrass. If you use a good spray adjuvant with it, and I would recommend using something like a methylated seed oil or a crop oil concentrate. Typically, a surfactant alone would not be enough to give you post-emergent control. A product called Monument trifloxysulfuron is a great product also for very young crabgrass. Again, a methylated seed oil or a crop oil concentrate, those are both spray adjuvants. They're penetrants, so they're going to actually force a lot of that herbicide into the leaf tissue of the plant. If you have Bermuda grass and you have a hybrid Bermuda grass, be careful with quinclorac. You'll see it as Drive Accelerate. Some hybrid Bermuda grasses are very sensitive to Drive or quinclorac. So
I'm about to have me sign up for my chemical applicators right after this.
He's serious. He's not playing.
I'm not playing.
Hey, yo, Q, you know I'm already studying for mine, so hey, we might as well get in. And PJ,
hey, we gonna get that StreamYard, that Zoom flashcard session in.
Hey, man, just put in another study session.
Yes.
I think I've got a PowerPoint on some of this. I'll share it with. I'll send it to Robert and let him stream it out to you. I did a presentation somewhere.
I appreciate that.
One time.
Definitely.
It was one of those. At one point, I got asked to go give a talk at Titan Stadium one time with a bunch of sports turf people, and man, I wish I had that on video because I looked like a Baptist preacher up there shooting lightning bolts out of my fingertips. I was so nervous and excited to be there. Monument as early stage, Celsius is early stage. Image, Amazaquin is kind of an old tried and true. Image is a good product for post-emergent crabgrass control. Understand it's going to cause some pretty significant discoloration.
Image you can find at your local big box stores, right?
I think now you can get Amazaquin. It'll be like Image for lawns, or it was originally sold as a nut sedge, a post-emergent nut sedge weed control. However, one of the things that's lesser known about it is its efficacy on crabgrass. It's okay. It's pretty good on nut sedge. It's okay on some other weeds, but it's fairly strong on crabgrass. If you really need to take it to the next level, like you need to do a full burn and return where it looks like you killed your lawn, but only your Bermuda comes back, you can mix simazine with your Amazaquin. And that is it's a thunderous application. It's not for the faint of heart. You're going to nuke everything to the ground. And if you have a customer, they're going to call you and ask you, what the hell you did to their yard. But it is a quick way to clean up a lot of weeds. Tribute Total as a post-emergent herbicide works great, and you could even do that combination. Tribute Total is a combination of 3 different herbicides. It has Celsius, it has Revolver, and it has Sedgehammer in it. Tribute Total just combines the 3 of those. Celsius and Revolver work, so does Tribute Total because it already has it in there, so that works well. There's some newer chemistries that are out there, like Manuscript. And Manuscript has kind of a program-like approach for treating not just crabgrass, but also Dallas grass. I would say 50% of the time I get asked about controlling crabgrass and I get a picture, it's actually Dallas grass.
We get that a lot here in Texas too.
Yes, it is a total nightmare to control. And there's, back in the day, we had MSMA, right? And, you go spray it 3-4 times a season and you feel like a hero. But, we don't have that flexibility anymore. So, fall applications of Tribute Total.
Oh, he froze. You still there, Matt? He was on the roll too, man. Well, hopefully he pops back in.
Knock a bunch of things out at once.
There you go. You cut out for a second, but man, Matt, I appreciate that overwhelming amount of knowledge. Guys, if you want more of that, and I know that was a lot. That was like a fire hydrant, and your mouth was open, and you were trying to soak all that in. And if you were struggling keeping up, that tells you this is where you self-reflect, right? As a lawn enthusiast or a garden enthusiast, this is the moment where you self-reflect and you're like, I need to read more. I need to read more, and I need to build my foundation more, right? And once you get a set foundation, if you have an extension office that's worth a crap, because they're not all creative equal, I've learned that. But once you develop a solid foundation and you respect the trade and the craft when it comes into not only lawn care, but gardening, understanding the foundation of understanding your soil property, your soil foundation. As you can see, Farmer Q hopped straight into CECs, and the We Working team, we will be starting lives starting this month, July 17th. We're going to host the first live on the second live, the first official We Working team live cast, where we're trying to take this Matt Martin lingo and we're trying to transcribe it in a way that you can understand. So I know that he may have overspoke to a lot of you guys, and you're just like, I don't know what the heck he's talking about. Can we just get back to planting seeds and watering and enjoying the simplicity of life? But what we're going to try to do on the We Working Team live cast is take what Matt does on the grass factor for the professionals, or for the more what's the word I'm looking for? Somebody help me out. More seasoned, advanced growers and enthusiasts, and we're going to put it in a digestible form to where people who are just getting started and that are genuinely interested in learning further than just knuckle surface type information, to where we can grind a little deeper. The first one will be held here on Turf Therapy, but we will be starting our own separate YouTube channel dedicated to strictly live casts, where we can try to educate you in a way to where we can take this information from professionals that have been doing this for 10 years, 8 years, 15 years, 20 years. We will every once in a while have these guests on our channels, but we will interpret it and then try to distribute it to the common people, the average home care or residential enthusiast or gardener, in a language to where you can understand. But you have to do your part. You have to help us help you by educating yourself. And we're going to provide all those resources for you as far as where you can easily digest this information. But whenever you feel overwhelmed for the information that we're giving you here on these live casts that we're providing for you, just know that you have more work to do. You have more work to do. And then with the lawn and garden, it all starts with a reputable soil test. That means you go to your local extension office, or you hit up someone like Spectrum Analytics, or one of the other 2 or 3 places that Cam already listed, and Matt Martin can give you a list as well, to where we can now make data-driven decisions on how to care to your garden and or lawn. That's what we want to do for you in this community. And this is just a little taste of what we're able to provide. I've been blessed enough to come across all these wonderful, smarter people than me, to where I can leverage their information, their skill, their expertise in this craft, this trade, this skill, and set an expectation for you that is healthy and doesn't mislead you down the path of, you just sprinkle this on it, it's the magic dust that fixes everything. That's why I bring you the licensed applicator Polo. That's why I bring you the child scientist Farmer Q, that does nothing but gardening, but he's able to apply his knowledge in gardening to his lawn and transition that. And for the folks that are afraid to use chemicals and don't ever want to use them, we got you covered too. But no, if you read the labels, you can use them responsibly in your lawn with the appropriate tips that are both accurate and precise, to where you can keep your garden safe. You see me do it all the time on my channel. I use chemicals seldomly, but I use them responsibly, so I can still eat the food that comes out of my garden confidently, not even worried about what I sprayed, because I did it responsibly and I read the label and I followed the label.
Oh yeah. And
so
let me say real quick
what it's all about. Go ahead, Farmer Q. You got the stage, bro.
Well, I was just gonna say real quick that, you know, Matt, you opened I'll say this: the person who taught me, who opened the gateway for irrigation in my mind, his name was Matt as well. And I'll say today, Matt, you opened the gate for chemical application in my mind, because let me tell you, when I worked, I'm not going to say specifically because I'm semantics, but when I worked for a city back in the day, the chemical applicator for that city, he held the key to that chemical applicator room like it was his life, and he would not share any information with anybody. And you opened the door for me today. So now I'm gonna start to walk forward within that.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And when I was coming up in this, that was one of my big frustrations is, you know, a little background that when I was in college, when I got out of college, I went to work I worked at a golf course for a little while. And then when 2008, 2009 happened, I got a job at True Green. And when I went to work at True Green, I realized, you know, I'm working with people that have no formal agronomy background whatsoever. And these guys all knew a hell of a lot more about turfgrass than I ever did. And I had a degree. And I'm like, this is absolutely nuts. And you start picking their brains and they're like, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not telling you anything. You get out there and learn it, you know, and would hold your feet to the fire. Like if you want to keep up and you want to move up in the company, you got to go figure it out. Go make mistakes. Go, you know, make people angry. Go lose a few accounts and you'll get your feet wet. That's how you end up learning. And so as I got a little older, you know, I decided that I came to the realization, you know, Robert was talking about responsible use, right? And I feel like in maintaining a message of responsible use, that there's you have to share what some people may hold as trade secrets or whatever. You've got to give that information out there, because collectively as an industry, if we are all of better education and we all make smarter decisions, then the industry as a whole is lifted together, right? And that's what's most important to me, because you know, this industry gave me a life, a means of providing for myself, a house, cars. I got a family and all this stuff. And I owe it all to the green industry. And I want to make sure that it continues to stay around. And there's a lot of heat on it right now, because all it takes is one big mistake, right? You know, we can go down the road of, you know, well, why MSMA got pulled off the market, or why imidacloprid right now is in the hot seat. And it's all because of mistakes. And I'm not shying anybody away from making mistakes, but if we're armed with as much knowledge as possible to limit as many mistakes as possible, and we share that information open and freely, it gives the industry the best chance possible moving forward to continue to be here for a long time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it mitigates that fallout when we do things irresponsibly. Now, I have taken 3 hours of y'all's Saturday. I appreciate you being here. I'm going to go around the room to let everyone say their parting goodbyes. I think everyone has participated in this panel, even if you're here or not. And we're going to start out with Farmer Q. We're going to follow on with Pretty Boy Cam. And then we're going to close it up with Tommy Ain't Got No Job Polo, who lost to the rookie, the amateur, when it comes to the Battle of the Stripes. I crushed him. I dominated him, but I digress. Farmer Q, take the stage. And then we'll close it up with Matt.
All right. So I'm gonna make it complex, but keep it short. And I'll say this. I've learned so much on tonight. And you know, when you see a lion in the prairie and they're taking down water buffalo, the Cape buffalo, right? I mean, it's like they got their claws, they got their mane, they're all vicious looking, they're beasts, they're hunting together. And it's the lioness is this getting that thing down, by the way. But when they're out there doing that thing, they're not a cub. They have grown up, they have experienced life, they have gotten that knowledge, and that water buffalo that would crush that cub, which may be me right now. The chemicals is the water buffalo right now, and I gotta become a lion. You know, I'm already lion crest, but I gotta become a lion in the chemicals. And I appreciate the knowledge tonight. Y'all really have helped me get to my prey, which is the water buffalo, on tonight.
Hey, I love it, Q. I love it, Q. All right, Cam, what you got? Pretty boy Cam, Triple C, Killer Cam in the building, holding down the shimmy. What you got for the people, bro?
So all I got to say is, Turf, I appreciate this. I appreciate you having me on. Appreciate you setting this up. I will say, everybody, prep for the fall. Like, especially if you are a cool season lawn, now is the time for you to start prepping. I have talked to people in the industry. There will be a seed shortage on quality seed. Like, so if you have a particular type of seed that you want to use and you want to go with, there will be a seed shortage. Get on your search now. Get your seed ahead of time before everybody else does. And I will say, proper planning. Just plan for the fall. Get ready for it. Get your seed. Water through the summer if you can. I got a video coming out just to try to help people out. If you can't, hey, let that thing ride and prep for the fall.
Right. And there go Paul.
I knew hey, let me go ahead and say right now, I didn't start it. I think CR, I don't know if it was CR or somebody, hashtag Turf cheated, because Turf cheated. Okay? Point blank period. Y'all see that beautiful lusher, you know, let me show you that domination line right there. Y'all see that line, right? Y'all see that, right?
That's the line of inspiration beautiful, around these streets.
Right, let me just go ahead and say that.
We don't dominate, we inspire.
Let me say this. I'm with Cam also. Yeah, we inspire and we respect our neighbors. We respect that. We respect that. Now, I don't think he's gonna ever jump on board, you know, but I mean, I don't see why he shouldn't, looking at this beautiful lush line over there. Why you shouldn't go ahead and just, you know, hey, you know, but that's what we're here for. But I jump on with Cam.
You got them teaming up against me, Polo. Hold up, man.
We're in a hot period.
My whole chat is moving against me. They love Polo. They teaming up. They said Turf cheated. Get out of here.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Turf cheated. Y'all know. Okay. Y'all know. I didn't say anything. Look. but let me get back to what I was saying. I am just like Cam. We're in a hot season right now. It's blazing hot. If you all do not want your lines to go into dormancy, you gotta water it. You gotta give it some type of water. Now, if it is in dormancy, let that thing ride out. Don't yo-yo it. Don't sit up there and bring it out. Take it back in, bring it out. Don't do any of that at all. Just leave it alone. September's right around the corner where you can go ahead and start your renovation. You can go ahead and start your watering. You can go ahead and start your fertilizing and doing those things to get it to bounce back. But if you stay on top of it, you can look like this. You can look like this. You know, Turf cheated. And I'll go ahead and I'll pass it on. Go ahead, take it.
Matt, tell the people where they can find you. Once again, I'll drop the link to the wonderful channel that you have, educating the community, but talk to the people one more time before we roll up out of here.
It's Grass Factor on YouTube, but I hope everybody has a great 4th of July. Robert, thank you for your service and being an inspiration for all of us and carrying the message of the positive things that do come out of this industry, whether it's a hobby or you do it full time. You know, that's, you know, having positive voices out there are what it's all about. And I respect the hell out of you for it. And thank you for everything you do.
Hey man, Matt, thank you. I appreciate you for being that beacon that's willing to share trade secrets that people should be paying for. I mean, that's the reality. You're sharing information, your experience, your expertise that, like Farmer Q explained earlier, that people aren't willing to give the depth to. So that's amazing. That's where I gather a lot of my information from. I shared with you when I had Alan Hain on here, the lawn care guide that he came out with, that Matt Martin helped him write and critique, as he said openly in the public before. And then I took that foundation of information and I was able to expound on it by going to my local extension office and tuning into the Sunday night lawn care help desk that I missed so much, that I developed the Matt Martin lingo, and I was able to expound on that language, that information, that depth, to take it a few steps further. So I appreciate everyone that hung in for the few hours that we were here tonight. I hope that you learned something. I hope that you took something away from this. And I'll end this with MIG. One thing for sure.
Two things for certain. Just know.
Just know.
We working.
Hey, and Matt, I won't apply gypsum to my clay soil, by the way. I got you.
Okay.
Watch it.
There you go. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope that you took something away from this. And once again, thank you for all my co-hosts, the panel that are willing to join us. We'll be back on the weekend of July 17th. You'll see me post. We will try to help you as much as possible. We are not perfect. We are human beings. We're fallible. I stole that from the Grass Factor, Sunday Hope Line desk, whatever it used to be called. I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen it, but we're trying to translate that information in digestible, easy to understand and learning formation as we continue to educate ourselves on this journey. You all enjoy your holiday. Special shout out to all the veterans out there. Even more of a graceful bow to the ones that have lost their life, that have paid that ultimate sacrifice, that aren't willing to be here with us today for the independence of this country. We love you. Take care. Stay blessed. That's it. We out. Peace. Okay. That's it.